Hello and welcome back to the Exponential. My name's R Squared, and today's the first ever live college football commentary. I remind you, there's only one first commentary, so we're gonna have a good time today. We got an amazing matchup of top 12 teams heading off in Miami Gardens, Florida, home of the Miami Hurricanes. Baby, let's go! It's all about the U. So the Hurricanes are at home. They're taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at Hard Rock Stadium. Week one, this first weekend of college football has been absolutely incredible. We've seen some stunning things. I mean, week zero was good enough for me. I saw week zero over in Dublin, and I was having a great time watching that one. I was just partying. The college football's back. But since then, we've had some crazy games. Boise State went down. Army went down. Texas went down. We saw Tennessee won an amazing game. Arkansas had a phenomenal victory. We saw Alabama get upset. We saw several teams just absolutely destroy some FCS opponents. We saw some less impressive victories. Kansas State's week two victory was, or week 1, 0.5 victory was less than impressive. Texas A&M's very similar. They didn't have a great game. We see LSU beat Clemson, Michigan beat New Mexico State. We saw all of this stuff happen, and we're going to get into the full recap of the weekend's events during any commercial breaks that we may have along the way. In just a few moments, we'll be getting kicked off over in Miami, and we'll be here for the full live commentary throughout the entire time. So you can go ahead and mute your TVs and just listen to me watch the game, though. We're going to have a good time here in the Exponential. Here on the Exponential, we got a great game. I mean, highlights of this one, obviously, we got Carson Beck, the transfer from Georgia, coming in as the new quarterback from Miami after Cam Ward's tenure in Miami didn't end quite the way everyone was expecting, but it ended well for him because he ended up going first overall to the Tennessee Titans in the NFL draft. Notre Dame, however, ended up losing Riley Leonard, who eventually ended up in Indianapolis somehow, although I don't believe he's still on the team, but he might be on the practice squad. So Riley Leonard's no longer with Notre Dame either. So we got two new teams, completely different teams facing off this year. But let me tell you, these teams have a very historic rivalry behind them. There's a very famous rivalry between these two teams. It's called the Catholics versus the Convicts. If you haven't heard it, look it up. It's pretty fun. So the Hurricanes, of course, are the Convicts because everyone in Miami is. I'm kidding. Anyway, that was a terrible joke. Don't clip that. All right, so the Hurricanes, they're coming in this one. They got Carson Beck, of course. They're Georgia, so they have that very famous rivalry, but this is a different kind of rivalry because it's not quite the same intensity as years past because they don't have the same players. No one here really knows what to expect from either team. On Miami's side, they got Carson Beck coming in from Georgia. He's been phenomenal over in Georgia, made several college football playoff appearances, and now he's coming into Miami for a fresh start in his senior year to help the Hurricanes win big this time, to help them reach the heights that they could not reach last year because of defensive trouble, which hopefully should be solved by edge rusher Ruben Bain Jr., who comes in from Miami off on the defensive side as their hopeful superstar, but he was unable to contribute last year due to an injury that kept him out almost all year. On the Notre Dame side of things, we had CJ Carr taking over the helm from Riley Leonard. Marcus Freeman's the head coach over there. We'll see how CJ Carr does. It was a tough decision between himself and this guy named Kinchy. I forgot his first name, but don't hold that against me. It's week one. His name's Kenny Minchey. Kenny Minchey's his name, and he ended up with CJ Carr ended up winning that job to Kenny Minchey, which personally I think was the correct decision. But honestly, if you're CJ Carr, you could not have gotten a much better situation than you have in Notre Dame. You have an all-star running back who rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, and Jeremiah the Monster Love. Just saw that article today, so I'm going to be calling him the Monster all day long. And then he's also got a very talented receiving core over at Notre Dame and a very wonderful coach over there in Marcus Freeman. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Miami lost a lot of their big weapons earlier in the year just to the NFL draft and to the transfer portal as well. Miami took a fairly big hit, but we're going to be able to see whether or not Miami can keep up the action. So we got a really good one. There is currently a hurricane in Miami, conveniently. Not really a hurricane, but it's definitely some heavy rain, so there may be a little bit of a delay on the start time over there in Hard Rock, but I will get you the coverage as soon as possible. Not in here on your TVs, but it has not started for me yet, so I cannot start commentating on it. But I will be ready for it. It's on ABC if you want to go ahead and turn your channels over there and just keep me over here to listen on. So yeah, we got stormy weather over in Miami. If anyone's from Florida, that's to be expected. It's Florida. So if you're getting a rainy day today, it is not just affecting whatever part you're in Florida. It is also affecting Miami and this game between the Fighting Irish and the Hurricanes, which will get started as soon as possible. It says 7:37. Don't know that I believe that necessarily, but 7:37 is supposedly the start time between Miami and Notre Dame. Will get started right over there as soon as we get coverage. In the meantime, I guess I could commentate on the Braves-Phillies game right now, get a little dual action if I wanted to, but I don't. Although I could. Don't tempt me. So Miami, they lost running back Damian Martinez, who followed Cam Ward from the Pac-12 over to Miami in the transfer portal last year. They lost him this year, however, to the draft. He ended up in Seattle, and they now have Mark Fletcher Jr. as the running back. So he's got some experience as the running back for Miami. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he is able to hold up that running game in Miami to help Carson Beck out a little, to see whether that offensive attack. There was a lot of questions this year for Miami's offense, whether they can hold up, because nothing's as certain as it was last year. Cam Ward was phenomenal last year, but now they got Carson Beck, who's, in my opinion, a worse quarterback than Cam Ward, which is hard to say as someone who is rooting for the Hurricanes in this one and who thinks they're going to win. But it's going to be tight. It's going to be an interesting game because this rain, it's also going to kind of throw Miami's game plan off balance a little bit, because Miami is a very meticulous passing team, and they really are going to have to rely. Ooh, we got a Spanish broadcast. That's good enough. Live now. Upcoming. It says it hasn't started yet. I'm clicking stuff. Don't worry. Boop. Just get the Spanish broadcast in for now. Oh, wait. Or the non-Spanish broadcast. I've jerry-rigged it. We'll see if we can get it started. Nope. I've been fooled. Really? All right. Anyway, yeah, I just have to wait probably about 5 minutes for that game to get started over on ESPN. I'm doing it on ESPN, so if you're watching locally, it's going to be over on ABC. Should be super easy to watch. Switch your channel over there. But if you're on ESPN like me, hopefully I'm not the only one having these troubles, because that would be problematic. But it also hasn't started over on the ESPN app that I'm looking at over here, so I assume everything's perfectly fine. And it's just in a minor delay. All right, let's see what I can do here. Technical difficulty. I'm just trying to speed it up. I could talk for longer, but then what on earth would I talk about for the other 3.5 hours? That's mostly what I'm saying. Yeah, so, I mean, we had a lot of great games earlier this week. This is just going to be the Sunday night cap here, as we have another game tomorrow night. We got Bill Belichick's college football coaching career opener, which should be interesting. They're taking on TCU. And I feel like a lot of people are not taking TCU very seriously. It's not working. It's just not even clicking. All right, we're going to restart it here. Click. That didn't work. Please hold. Might have to get someone over here. Click. I don't know why that's not working. Normally clicking stuff works for me. Click. Why is it not working? All right. Wait. Pause. It's going to work. And we're underway from Miami Gardens, Florida. The Miami Hurricanes are taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It's a stormy day. We're back here live. It's 7:34. We got it working. I got whoever these guys are on the screen. I didn't see their names. I was a little late to the show there. But there's people, and that's what counts. So we're here in Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricanes, and pretty much everything else Miami. It's a cold. Well, not cold. It's hot. It's Florida, but it's rainy. It's a rainy day. Carson Beck, his career as a starter over his career in Georgia, he's 24-3. He's only ever lost 3 games. Will he get tagged his 4th loss here against the brand new, fresh CJ Carr? I call him fresh. He's brand new. You got 2 polar opposites at quarterback here. Carson Beck's played 27 games now as a starter, and this is CJ Carr. We're going to get to see CJ Carr throw his first ever pass. You see them showing some clips of what I mentioned earlier with that matchup between the Catholics versus the Convicts. And this is just the 28th iteration of this meeting between Miami and Notre Dame. This is a rivalry that has been on for a long time, but they have not had many meetings in recent memory because they haven't really had that opportunity. Now let's take a quick moment to take a look at what ESPN Analytics has to say about this game. ESPN Analytics says that Notre Dame has a 54.9% chance of coming out victorious over Miami in this one, while voters over on the the thing, as I call it, I gotta deal with that too, as I call it, the pick'em, the college football pick'em over there has Notre Dame. 77% of people pick Notre Dame. To which I say, what on earth? Why are so many people picking Notre Dame? Why does no one think that they have a chance to be able to win this game? This is a very good game. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a very interesting game, but I think Miami has the advantage. Not only are they the home team in this one, but they're the more experienced team. They have that. Notre Dame does have the better defense, but we haven't seen this Ruben Bain defense coming in for Miami yet. We haven't seen it. It's a brand new scheme coming in as Miami replaced their defensive coordinator just this last year for Corey Heatherman. And Corey Heatherman came in from the University of Minnesota, where he was the defensive coordinator there. Miami liked what he was done, so they fired their DC and hired Corey Heatherman to take over the reins in Miami. So it'll be interesting. It's a totally new game for the Hurricanes, and it's a totally new team for the Hurricanes as well. So I think people are really kind of counting them out early, just looking at that stat there. So my final prediction for this game, I'm going to take the Hurricanes. I kind of have to. I'm almost forced to. So the Hurricanes, I got the Canes. Let's give them a high score. Let's give them 34-28 Hurricanes win. I don't know who the kicker is for Miami, but we're going to say he misses an extra point because why not? Yeah. I'm not even going to mess with that. I know it's a robot. Okay, whatever. Just stay here. Watch this. We got a fun time. We got a good, fun time in Miami. Getting right underway after a few quick ads. And, we've had an incredible weekend. I'm so excited for this one. I've been waiting for this all week. I wasn't even sure I was going to do it. I was kind of like, do I do it? Do I not do it? I was uncertain, but then after, it took very little convincing, I will say. I kind of just thought it over, and I was like, so you're saying the Hurricanes are playing in a top 12 matchup on a Sunday night. There's no NFL, and I have the chance to commentate on it? Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So I'm here. I don't have anything on the wall. The wall's empty. Yeah, but I got this stuff. I bought an Eagles shirt, as promised. There's a video about a fan interview with an Eagles super fan. You can go check that out right now. It'll be on the main channel under the video section. And in that, I do believe I promised to buy some Eagles merchandise if they won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I did. Yeah, I bought some merch for the Eagles Super Bowl. So I did. It's just a polo shirt. I bought it in Philadelphia when I got to record a podcast with DSPN. I made a post about it about a month ago, maybe more. It was a long time ago, actually. Jimmy Johnson was the coach of the Hurricanes in that legendary Hurricanes and Notre Dame Fighting Irish game that I've already mentioned several times. And he's put up the U. Jimmy Johnson's ready for this one, and we all are as the Hurricanes. It's a packed house at Hard Rock for it being such a rainy day. Miami has shown up for this one. Wow, this is going to be a very fun game. I mean, we've seen there are some Irish fans in the house as well, but mostly Hurricanes fans. They are all oranged out because, in case I didn't mention, today is an orange out. Get it? Yeah, because they wear orange. So basically, everyone's wearing orange. Ray Lewis, my Hall of Fame linebacker, Ray Lewis. Hall of Fame kick returner, Devin Hester in the house as well. We got some Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer. We have some incredible names in the house tonight. I mean, Michael Irvin's there as well. Wow, this is just quite the list of Hall of Famers in the room here. Carson Beck's got himself his own little crowd watching his Hurricanes debut. This could be a special season for Miami. Just throwing it out there. This could be the year that the Hurricanes finally break out of that and go all the way. Top 10 matchups in their series. 1987, Miami beat Notre Dame. The home team has won each of these important matchups here. We saw Notre Dame defeat Miami the 4-1 and they're 31-30. These are all top 12 matchups you see on your screen here. And there's Mario Cristobal leading his team in all orange heading out of the tunnel as the Miami Hurricanes make their season debut. It is a full orange house. Oh, it lights out. Oh, this is cool. I want to be there so badly. So the lights are out as they're getting ready for the orange. I expect everything to be orange very soon. Right, pretty much as soon as these colors. Last season they were 10-3. They lost 3 of their last 4. I do remember that was rather painful. Syracuse was the big one. The defense just collapsed. So we're really hoping that Corey Heatherman can help take this defense to the next level for Miami. So we still got the night out here. It's Sunday night. This is the kind of light that Miami wants. This is the kind of light that the Dolphins normally get. And the Hurricanes are here. And the lights are back up. It actually wasn't ever all that dark. Sun still hasn't set fully in Miami. Storm warning. Absolutely. It literally a storm warning in Miami, but also there's some hurricanes rolling in. Oh, I timed that beautifully. There's Sebastian, the Ibis, mascot of the Miami Hurricanes. For those that do not know, we got the flames burning them bright orange because it's an orange out as the Hurricanes storm the field. Pun totally intended. As you see them waltzing on, Carson Beck will get the start. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Next up, we got Notre Dame will be taking the field in just a few moments. The Hurricanes, it's their home debut. Like, this isn't just the first game of the year. This is their home debut. And on the other side, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, last season they had 14 wins, which is a program record for them under Riley Leonard. And, of course, this guy up front, Marcus Freeman, the Notre Dame hype man. And this Notre Dame team, they made the college football playoffs. They made the national championship, but they didn't quite get over the final hump in Ohio State and ended up losing there. But this is their chance to get the redemption this year. They got a new young quarterback. They got plenty of years left with C.J. Carr. It's up to Marcus Freeman to see how we can coach this guy up and turn this into a quarterback who can be able to lead this school to victory. See all the huddles beginning over on the sidelines as they try to get in game mode. The prayers sending up, of course, for this one. And Marcus Freeman, you see him on your screen there. This guy has led this program to success that we could never even imagine over there at Notre Dame. And now on the screen, you got Mario Cristobal, former head coach at the University of Oregon. He had a lot of success over in Oregon for a long time, and then he voluntarily left Oregon to come over to Miami. Everyone thought he was making a big mistake for his first couple of years as the boss over at Miami. Things started to look that way. We saw a lot of failures. De'Aaron King, whoever the guy was before Cam Ward, I already forgot. And then Cam Ward came along through the transfer portal. He started to kind of turn the transfer portal into his dough, into his clay, and he started to mold that into his team. And ultimately, he ended up with a phenomenal team last year. And he's kind of done the same thing as well here. He's landed 2 of the top quarterbacks 2 years in a row. This guy, Marcus Freeman, you see, I'm not throwing any shade at Notre Dame, but I saw this. They got a new logo now. It looks awful. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm a sucker for the classics. Their new logo, like the little Fighting Irishman, I mean, they always had that, but it looks different. It looks fake. There's the coin toss here, and Miami won the toss. They will never tell us who will defer, who will receive, because I don't have my audio on. But we will find out right after another break, I'm guessing. All right, let's see. They're shaking hands over in the middle of the field. And Miami, big names to watch. Carson Beck, Ruben Bain Jr. Thank you for my water bottle. It's been there. And, of course, another name that you may not know, projected first-round pick. That's right. We got a projected first-round pick lineman, Francis Mauigoa. He's the big man. He's from American Samoa. He's a junior this year. He's 6'6", 315 pounds, and he's a beast on that offensive line. He gives Miami one of the top offensive lines in college football this year, which makes it all the more tough for the Hurricanes and for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to be able to get the pass rush in on Miami this time, which just gives Carson Beck so much more opportunity to be able to do great things. See there, CJ Carr getting ready for his first start. He's inhale and exhale. Nerves have to be huge. I mean, this is a professional football stadium. This is a professional stadium. Your first ever start, you're coming in against the top 12 team, who honestly should be heavily favored, but they're not. And you're coming in with the expectations of having just made the national championship. I mean, quite frankly, for CJ Carr, I don't envy him in this moment. This is a lot of pressure for CJ Carr. It's just a matter of whether we'll see if he's able to live up to the moment. So Miami did elect to defer. So we will be seeing CJ Carr's first ever pass attempt coming your way right after this kick. And it's still raining over in Miami, just FYI, as things are going to get wet. The conditions are going to get a little slippery. Notre Dame is more built for a kind of a rainy game than Miami is. They're more precision-based, or at least in my experience watching Carson Beck, he's got to be very on point with the ball, otherwise things go wrong. And we're underway in South Florida as the Hurricanes take on the Fighting Irish. This one will go out of the back of the end zone, maybe a little further than that, and we'll get our first look at freshman quarterback CJ. Actually, no, that's incorrect, isn't it? I don't know what year he's in, okay? Doesn't matter. He's new. He's brand new. He is a freshman. Why do I question myself? He's from Saline, Michigan. Sounds like assault because it is. And he's from Michigan. CJ Carr's a redshirt freshman. Okay, I was right. He was around last year. So he's a redshirt freshman. This is his first career start. He's never attempted a pass. And he was the 4th-ranked quarterback in the 2024 ESPN Top 300 prospect list. So we'll see how his first ever snap goes against this Hurricanes defense. Carr will take the snap. He'll go play action. He'll throw a quick screen pass, which is going nowhere. Quickly wrapped up by that Hurricanes defense. Great defensive play there made early. That was Frederick Jr. I'll try and keep up with all the names, but in case you did not know, there is a lot of college football players on each team. So I will definitely try. That's O.J. Frederick Jr., who made the tackle there. Really great tackle. CJ Carr trying to get everything settled here. 2nd and 12 for the Fighting Irish. We got a man in motion. And Carr will look to pass again. He'll throw to the sideline. He'll get about 3 yards. He's pushed backwards, though. Really great tackling in space so far by Miami. Really nice job there. That was Jordan Faison. And they're going to give him... Sorry, that was Eli Raritan. No, I'm not sure who that was. I'm pretty sure that was Eli Raritan. What was the number, everyone? Eli Raritan. I got it. I can do this. There's a lot of players. If you want, go look at ESPN, look at their rosters. You'll see what I'm dealing with. I don't have this memorized. So Carr will look to throw for the 3rd time, pass rush on him, and he'll throw a quick screen pass, and then he'll go for a first down. He's still on his feet. And a nice little play there made this time. That was another pass completed. This one was Jordan Faison. The other guy was not. There's a number 9 and a number 6. Things get real confusing in a college game. Let me tell you. This one's not easy. So that was Jordan Faison on that big catch there. He's number 6. Number 9 is Eli Raritan. I will try to keep that memorized. So CJ Carr off to a nice start. They're at their own 42-yard line, 1st and 10. He'll take the snap. He'll go play action. Another screen. And this one will go back. And the screen is working wonders for them. And they get another quick 15 yards there to Jordan Faison again. And Faison's been the go-to guy early. And so far, CJ Carr has not been taking too many risks. He's been taking the dump down. He's been throwing the screens. And that's a perfectly reasonable option. I think this is a smart move by Marcus Freeman. He's really challenging this Miami team. He's forcing them to get on the ball really quickly. And he's really pressuring. He's not putting any pressure on his quarterback. He's leaving it up to the receivers. He's just throwing it up there saying, here you go. He's just throwing some easy screens, and it's working out for them. And we got Jeremiah Love in motion there, and that's going to be the handoff. He'll go for only 1 yard on the run there, maybe 2 if he's lucky. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up with just under 12 and a half minutes to play here in the first quarter. It's 0-0. Impact players of this one. I already mentioned Ruben Bain, But here's a wide receiver for Notre Dame that I didn't mention, Malachi Fields. He'll be wearing number 0 for them. He's a very dynamic wide receiver. Notre Dame's got a lot of weapons on this offense. It'll be very interesting to see what they have to do. I sneezed. I caught it. I muted. Don't worry, not blowing your eardrums out today. CJ Carr, he'll roll to his left. Really interesting play, and he'll throw in the middle, and that's incomplete. Good defense there by the Miami secondary. I will figure out who this is. And that is number... who is that? That's Kalante Scott. That was actually a really good throw by CJ Carr there, trying to fit it in there. Kalante Scott forced the incompletion there. So if you're wondering, I am having to scroll all the way down to get the numbers. I don't have them all on a sheet next to me, although I really should have done that. But it's interesting. 11:55 to go, 3rd and 9. From the 42-yard line of Miami. Can CJ Carr keep this drive alive? Miami showing pressure. They back out, rush 4. Pressure off the edge. Carr, he's backtracking. He'll roll left. Carr's got nothing to do. It looks like he might have stepped out of bounds, but he airmails one away. 4th and 9, assuming he doesn't step out of bounds there. Good stop by this Miami defense, getting off the field early, giving their quarterback Carson Beck a chance. Good, really good pressure there by that Miami defense. We see him coming off the edge. I believe that was Ruben Bain, the playmaker that I've been talking about. So Farley, he just comes right off the edge, uncontested, and then the chase down by the rest of the Miami defenders, just never giving up on the chase there because CJ Carr could have made a great play, but never got out of their face. Really great pass rush by Miami. 4th and 9, and they will be punting away to give Carson Beck the chance. See what's up, but there's been a timeout. First timeout, Miami. Didn't like something they saw. Mario Cristobal will call his first timeout with 11:46 on the play clock, 4th and 9. And a punt on the way when we come back after this 30 seconds with a cow. And not the Chick-fil-A cow. College football's hard. It's a lot of fun. I like college football. It's very fun to do commentating on in general. It's just there's a lot more numbers to keep track of. There's even some multi-numbers, which makes it even harder. You're allowed to have multiple numbers in a college game. You're allowed to have a 0 for offense and a 0 for defense. That's something that's allowed for them. And it's really complicated to figure out exactly who is who doing what, and it's really hard to follow along, especially when you're trying to do offense and defense, but you only have so many ways to be able to see what you're doing. But it's an experience. It's the only first one. It'll be better from now on. This is the very first attempt. So we'll see how it goes. All right. It's a commercial break. I did say it's only 30 seconds. It'll be back like any second now, but I did say I was going to talk about recap of all of the college games this weekend. All the important, relevant ones, at least. Not the awful ones. Not the awful ones. Wink, wink. Texas, Ohio State. No, I'm kidding. I have to talk about that one, don't I? Begrudgingly, but I do have to talk about that one. So obviously, we'll start over in Dublin, where I sent out the post earlier to a couple weeks ago with that one. That one was a good matchup. I got to watch it pretty much the entire game. Very interesting. Obviously, really disappointing for Kansas State that they took the loss in Dublin. I was not expecting them to. I really expected them to be a little better this season. But honestly, already, I can confidently say 1 week in that Kansas State's not making the college football playoff. And it's not necessarily because of their game against Iowa State. It's because of the performance they put on later on. That they had against, what's it called? Some really obscure university that they really should have just smoked them. North Dakota. They really should have beaten them. No offense to North Dakota. That sounded really bad, by the way. But North Dakota, they kept them within 3. The final score was 38-35. I mean, Kansas State basically lost all their credit. They went from 17th ranked Kansas State favorites in the Big 12 to there's no shot. Because to me, I'm not sure Kansas State really has much hope to be able to continue onwards. As for Iowa State, however, they picked up two lovely wins. They got that first one against Kansas State and then never lost the momentum and utterly thrashed South Dakota. So Kansas State got North Dakota, they got South Dakota, and Iowa State won that one by 48. So they didn't have anything to worry about. Final score, that one was 55-7. So ultimately, Iowa State's in the race. Kansas State, I'm not too sold anymore. There's a look at downtown MIAMI. I spelled it right. I'm so proud of myself. I've been practicing that for so long. So the punt's on the way after that timeout by Cristobal and Miami, which will give us Carson Beck. You got a man in motion on the punt return. We see that a good amount more in college. And they get solid rush on the punter, but he gets the punt off. It'll be a fair catch called for at the 4-yard line, which is where we'll get our first look at Carson Beck and the Hurricanes offense. He's wearing number 11. He comes from the University of Georgia. This guy, his offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, will be calling the plays for him with the help of Mario Cristobal as well. And Carson Beck, he's trying to get everything organized with his sideline for his first snap in a Hurricanes uniform. And they already got the U going over in Miami. It looks like a great atmosphere. For it being raining, it looks phenomenal out there in Hard Rock Stadium. It looks like a great atmosphere. I kind of wish I had my sound on. So 11:39 to play, 1st and 10 for Miami at their own 4-yard line. They're backed up. Pretty much, he's basically standing in his own end zone right now for his first snap. He is standing in his own end zone. We see a little bit of clutter up front from Notre Dame. Got a man in motion for Miami, and they'll just hand it off up the middle, which will go for a solid 5-yard run there. That'll be somebody. And it wasn't Fletcher. Surprise! I don't think it was Fletcher. I don't know. I'll figure it out. All right. Laugh or cry at this point, folks. 2nd and 5 coming up for Miami. We're just going to ignore that run there. Carson Beck, 11 minutes to play here in the first. He's out at his own 9-yard line after that 5-yard run. Beck looks to throw his first pass as a Hurricane. He'll zip one in over the middle. A beautiful throw to the 24-yard line. First down, Miami. And the Canes fans are already on their feet. Beck he's directing traffic right now. That was Marion on the catch. There, brand new. Don't know who that is. I'll know it by the end of the year. And that's another quick slant over to the outside, and that'll be C.J. Daniels, the wide receiver out of LSU. He transferred as well. That was our big wide receiver transfer of the year. We also have Kaylon Marion, who he's a senior. He was at BYU last year. Keelan Marion. I'll remember that. So we got 2 transfer wide receivers so far hooking up with our transfer quarterback. This is just a team that has been molded by Mario Cristobal into this perfect team to become the ultimate Miami Hurricanes. And he's done that through the transfer portal. At their own 29-yard line, making good progress here. 2nd and 5. The handoff goes to Lyle. Lyle pushes up the middle, and that's another 5 yards. So far, they've done really nicely in the run game, and that's a big part of that's because of Francis Mauigoa up there. This is just a big, heavy offensive line. They're going to keep pushing back at you, and this is going to be very tough to be able to stop if you're Notre Dame, and so far, they have not been able to stop anything that Miami has thrown at them in these first 5 plays. This would be the part when someone else talks. All right, 9:30 to play here, 1st and 10. We got Jordan Lyle. He's a sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale. He's been getting some minor reps in the last couple of years for Miami. Last year, primarily, he was the 3rd string back. Notre Dame brings a blitz, and that's a dart over the middle from Beck, and that'll go for a nice 7 or 8 yards there for Miami. Very solid start to this one. That's Joshua Moore. He's a freshman. He's a hometown hero. He's from Miami. I keep smacking my hand, and it keeps making a really loud sound. I'm like, my bad. And that'll be a play action. Beck drops back deep, unloads. He doesn't really have him, and he overthrows him by a bit there. At least I was honest there. Man, the excitement, Rudy. He's aiming for Josiah Trader. He's from Hollywood, Florida. He's not even from the good Hollywood. But he would have been from the good Hollywood if he had made that catch there. He's just a little overthrown, but you could tell he was going back deep there based on that drop back. But overall, I'm loving the bold play calling so far from Miami. They got 3rd and 2. Honestly, I wouldn't get too cocky here. You got a strong offensive lineman. I would just run the ball here. If not, just throw a quick slant. I see no reason why to overcomplicate this. And we have a man in motion, and they're just going to hand it off. But I just did not like that. They'll hand it off to Lyle. They'll lose maybe a yard. See, I got a problem with that play call there because they drew attention to the ball by putting that guy on the jet sweep motion, on the fake jet sweep. They really drew attention to the fact that he was going there. That's Chris Ash, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. He's the one calling plays over on the Fighting Irish sideline, trying to find a way to stifle this Miami offense early. We see, I mean, I just don't love it. Because either way, you're drawing attention to the ball because you see that guy coming in motion. Suddenly the defenders are watching the ball and they're already on the line. It's just not my favorite. So Miami punts it away after an iffy play call there. And they got a little too fancy. So this one, he's bouncing off tackles so far, and he'll end up down at about the 22 or 23-yard line, where we'll get to see our second look at C.J. Carr. We're scoreless. It's 0-0. 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. So number 6, Notre Dame. Number 10, Miami. Back after this break. Yeah, I just did not like that play call there. That's frustrating. You can tell I'm slightly partial. Only slightly. The guy who blew that up there, oh my goodness, I'm going to love this. Sorry. 1 second. The man who made the tackle on that last play, Boubacar Traore from Boston, Massachusetts. His name is Boubacar Traore. Oh, I hope he has a great game. And Notre Dame. And so they get the ball back. Pretty much, I mean, so far, both teams have made decent progress. They both moved down the field very well. Both pretty much got equal drives, I would say. CJ Carr went 4 of 6 for 32 yards, mostly on screen passes, while Carson Beck went 3 of 4 for 27 on much more elaborate passes. So far, the running game for Miami has been much better thus far. Jordan Lyles got 10 yards on the ground. The Love pretty much hasn't been able to generate any offense. So Miami looked a little better to me than Notre Dame on that first drive just because they were a little bolder with their play calls. I don't blame Notre Dame. Honestly, I would have done the same thing at CJ Carr. You kind of want to get him into a rhythm a little bit. So if you're Notre Dame, that was actually a really smart decision by Marcus Freeman going into that first drive and being like, hey, we're just going to take it slow. We're just going to dump the ball off a few times, throw some screens, see how it works. And it actually managed to get Miami's defense quite a bit on a few occasions. So really good play calls by Marcus Freeman. I'm a little less impressed by Mario Cristobal and Shannon Dawson over on the Miami side of things. That last play call especially. That's a better play call for like 2nd and 10. If you got a few yards to go and you still want to run the ball, I think that's a better play call. That's a fine play call. But at that point, when you're kind of like, it's a little iffy. All right. Now that I've ranted about that, let's talk Boise State. They got humbled. And when I say humbled, I mean they got humbled by the University of South Florida. Go Bulls. And they lost 34-7. It turns out Ashton Jeanty had a lot to do with Boise State's success last year. They lost him to the NFL draft, and they ended up losing their first game without him by 27 points to a team who is frankly awful. I mean, USF, not a good team. I mean, they pulled out all the stops. Other than that, they pulled off a fake punt, which went for a touchdown. That was impressive. Byron Brown had a great game for USF. He ran for 2 touchdowns. Like, they pulled out all the stops against Boise State, but it's inexcusable. To me, Boise State's done. I'm bye. Like, I might be critical because teams can still make it and win the group of 5 now, but not on my watch. I'm not a big fan of Boise State after this one. It's just not a good look for them. Speaking of not a good look, nothing to do with on the screen. I was actually talking about Army. That didn't look good if you were watching your game there. We'll get to Army a little bit later. Long story short, they lost. There's basically no one in the group of 5 that can win anymore. So no one's quite sure what's going to happen there. So it's been a very weird week 1. So we're back here in Miami where Notre Dame and CJ Carr, he's not opened up under center yet. He's still in shotgun and Love out of the backfield. He'll take another screen pass. Miami's all over at that time as he swallowed up. The ball's out. That's Miami football. And what a play. How did he even hit him that hard? I didn't see the ball. All I saw was the pile at that point, and that ball just popped right out. I missed the turnover chain so much. Question is, did he ever have it? Oh, he's down anyway. He's down. I don't think that's going to count one way or another. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see it. Ooh, it's so close, though. Ooh. Ooh, that's so close. Fumble, fumble, fumble. This is the point where everyone would be cheering, turnover chain. They don't do that anymore. So it's Justin Scott who forced the fumble, by the way. What a hit. I mean, even if it doesn't count, what a hit. I mean, he absolutely laid the boom on him. Incredible hit there. They're saying it's good. Marcus Freeman hasn't thrown the challenge flag. Turnover chain time. They don't do it anymore, but it's in our memories. Turnover chain. So Carson Beck will take the snap. It's officially a fumble. He airs one out over the head, and he overthrows his receiver towards the end zone. That's incomplete. So what a turn of events. CJ Carr's first drive went very well. Second drive got off to a bit of a rocky start. And by a bit of a rocky start, I mean a boom by the Miami defender, Scott, there, forcing the fumble. And so far, just pointed it out there, Carson Beck has been a little off target with his deep throws. So Miami with that fumble recovery is crazy. So that was Malachi Fields who fumbled. It was Jacoby Thomas who recovered that as well. So the guy that we were pointing out, Malachi Fields, who's got a lot of potential for Notre Dame, he just got absolutely drilled, and that would force a fumble there. Surprising. All right, Beck will hand it off to Lyle, and Lyle's not going anywhere. It'll be 3rd and 10. So 3rd and long already coming up for Miami after getting that fumble, but it looks like regardless, the Canes are getting points on the board. To me, that's just it could be the rain. I'm honestly not entirely sure he fumbled. It was really tight, so I'm not sure they would have overturned it anyway. But if I'm Marcus Freeman, I might have wanted to take a second look at that, just because it was really, really close. And there's always a chance they see something. So I might have wanted to review that one. 3rd and 9. Beck in shotgun. He's directing traffic. He's got 5 on the play clock. 4, 3. He'll take the snap. He's going through his reads. He'll step into one over the middle, and he actually delivered it. It's going to be tight. I think they're going to mark him just short. That was Marion again. I think he's going to be just shy of the first down marker, depending on the spot. It's just a really... Yeah, there was a lot of contact there, but, I mean, what a move. Ooh, not touch the floor there. They're just not. They're going too fast on these replays. So Miami, they're huddling up. I think they're going to go for this here. They want to put this game away early. I don't blame them. This is a tough Notre Dame team one way or another, and you want to kind of put this game away before Notre Dame can ever get the momentum started. They're 13 of 20 last year on 4th down conversions. Story was probably different for Georgia, though. And they'll hand it off, and they got the big man, Mark Fletcher Jr. That'll be 4 easy yards for the Hurricanes. So the drive keeps on storming on. That'll be a 4th down conversion for the Hurricanes, which gives them another set of downs to try and cash in on the end zone here. Just great blocking there. You just see they just get absolutely split open. I mean, this Miami offensive line's no joke. And I don't think you'd be laughing if these guys were coming up to you. Hey, what are you doing? These are big dudes. I'm not like, there's nothing more past that. I'll give you the rundown of who those guys are in just a moment. We see they're drawing attention to the run again, but a nice cut there by Mark Fletcher will get a solid 5 yards. Running game has been very solid for Miami so far. So the big names that you need to know on this offensive line, well, the one who made the big push there was Samson Okunlola from Massachusetts, and then, of course, Francis Mauigoa, who I pointed out earlier. And they got a couple of other really big guys on this line. I mean, these are 300, and the heaviest guy on the team is 350 pounds, heaviest offensive lineman. That's actually a tie. There's actually 2 guys that are 350 and 3 more after that are 340. These are big fellas, and you do not want to get in their way. From the 7-yard line, Beck, the handoff, that did not work at all, and he's swallowed up in the backfield by Notre Dame, and that'll be 3rd and a good distance here for Miami, and they're not quite in goal yet. That was just absolute havoc wreaked in the background. Fantastic play there. And that was something Notre Dame really thrived on last week, was their havoc rate. You won't see me mention a havoc rate on any NFL commentators because it's not an NFL stat. They don't pay attention to that. Havoc rate is like the tackles for loss, the fumbles, the interceptions, the amount of disruption they cause at the line. That's kind of the havoc rate. Heard him talking about it a lot in articles last year. I kind of picked up what it means. I know the stats now. So Carson Beck, 3rd and 8. He looks. He's under pressure. It's swatted in the air, and it's incomplete. Good play, and they're jumping on it. I mean, hey, well taught. Well taught. I'll give them that. They're well trained to jump on that ball there. 4th and 8. So Miami will settle for 3. So the 4th down conversion doesn't pretty much help them, but what a swat there by Notre Dame. Yeah, just a really good hand up. 93 was the one who got his paw. That was Jared Dawson. And we just saw a lot of contact. I'm not even sure where he was going to throw, if I'm being perfectly honest. So we'll get to see Miami, see if they can cash in the first points of the game. This is Carter Davis. He's 4 of 11 on career field goals. We're in danger. This guy's he's missed 7 field goals out of 11. And here's the 28. It's a fake field goal. Okay, that didn't work. So Miami whipped out the fake field goal. Notice I just went silent. I did not see that coming. And so we're still scoreless on South Beach. No, it was not a fake field goal. That makes more sense. It was a messed up hold. So that's actually another missed field goal. So Marcus Freeman's Notre Dame squad gets lucky. They pull away. No, it was not a fake field goal. It was a dropped hold. So the place kick, so the kicker's going for it. There's the holder. So the holder's usually the punter. The punter dropped the ball there. So he got the snap from the long snapper. Hopefully I'm explaining this well. And he just dropped it. So the kicker went for the kick, and essentially there was no ball there. So the holder, in this case the punter, kind of had to make a quick decision. He rolled out and pretty much went out of bounds. So weird series of events. 0-0. Yeah, we're scoreless. That happened. Congratulations, Notre Dame. Miami needs to work on their special teams. So Notre Dame, yeah, I mean, that's a huge break for the Fighting Irish, to be honest. I mean, that could have been a dangerous situation. And I mean, to go down in this kind of game, so far it's been a defensive battle. And to even be down by 3 could be all it takes. And they've done a really nice job. They just got so lucky there. I can't even say anything else. Like, I'm trying to be nice to Notre Dame, but they got lucky. They did. All right, let's focus on another highlight. We saw the Illinois Fighting Illini. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Absolutely wallop the Western Illinois Leathernecks for the simple reason of the Western Illinois Weathernecks are not very good. So the Illini won that one 52-3. But then college game day, we had a very emotional fare thee well for Coach Lee Corso. I may have shed a tear. It was a very good. I say, he's picking Brutus. I mean, come on. Like that's what I told everyone who was watching. Come on, he's picking Brutus. He's always gonna pick Brutus. It was his first love. He said it himself. It's my first love, and then he took off Brutus. So that one, I was not surprised. A lot of people were really surprised with the fact that it was a low-scoring game and that Arch Manning didn't do better. But I was not surprised. I actually did pick Texas to win, so I'm not even going to I picked Texas. But I honestly did not expect very much from either team. Because Julian Sayin, the key for Ohio State to success this year is they really just got to trust the receivers or the running back. They just have to be able to trust the system. And the Buckeyes, that's traditionally what they rely on, is trusting in the system. And if they're not able to do, and Will Howard, I mean, he wasn't all that. And now he came to Ohio State, and he had to trust his receivers, and they made the plays happen for him. So very similar things over the course of history for Ohio State. Occasionally, they got a really good quarterback along the way. But Ohio State, they got this guy, Julian Sayin, or Sayin, just saying, whatever. I don't know what to call him. But he basically just did exactly what he had to do. He wasn't trying to play superhero. He did everything he had to do. He played just fine. And ultimately, Arch Manning, I didn't expect much from him either. He just doesn't have the talent that Ohio State has with the supporting cast. So to me, I wasn't surprised by the result of that one. A little bit of a tidbit there, but I didn't expect it to be high scoring at all. So a lot of people were like, what a terrible game. What a terrible game. I'm like, wait, what's that? It was exactly what I expected. All right, we're back in the rainy gardens of Miami as we see CJ Carr at their own 20-yard line after the whatever happened on Miami's last drive. And CJ Carr will take the snap and he'll hand it off to Jeremiah Love, who makes an incredible spin move and bullies his way 8 yards forward. What a move. All right. Whew. I'm blowing people's eardrums out already. Incredible run there by Jeremiah Love. I mean, what a move off the line. Incredible spin move. And that's exactly what they have to do if you're Notre Dame. The key to the game for Notre Dame really is just handing the ball off. You got to trust your team. CJ Carr, it's the first time they were showing that he was trusting them a little more with the screen passes. And we got to see it again with the running game. So far, Love has not really gotten involved. And he'll just hand it off to Love again. And they try to stop him, and he'll get about 1.5 yards. Say it's going to be 3rd and a short yard coming up for Notre Dame again. Just trust Jeremiah Love. Just trust the Monster, I think is what he called himself. I don't know. I don't want to call him the Monster. It sounds like a cool name. Whenever I think Jeremiah, I think of that old song, like, Jeremiah was a bullfrog. That one. Or Italian Ice, one or the other. Or both. So 3rd and 1 coming up for Notre Dame. Again, just got to trust Jeremiah Love here. In my opinion, just hand the ball off. And instead, Carl, oh my goodness! Take the draw and he gets swallowed up. And wow, that did not go according to plan. And the Canes just obliterated him in the backfield. See you later. Oh my goodness. He just got absolutely crushed. It was a design draw, but the linebacker read it beautifully. That was D lineman. That's a thin D lineman. Wow. He's tall though. It's David Blay Jr. He just absolutely crushed CJ Carr. Welcome to college football, sir. He's a transfer from Louisiana Tech University. Welcome to Miami. And CJ Carr and Notre Dame will be forced to punt again back to Miami. Hey, a little bit of fair catch interference there. They're not going to throw the flag. However, it'll be fair caught at about the Miami's own 35 or 40-yard line. All right, 1st and 10 for Carson Beck. Coming up next, we got a back and forth one. Braves Phillies. The Phillies went up 1-0. Just a little tidbit in case you're more interested in baseball. I don't know why you would be. No offense to baseball, but football's back. Take a seat until October. October, then you can get excited about both. But take a seat. I'm okay. Yeah. No, 1st and 10. 1:46 to go. It's really times like these when you realize how much you need the second person. You're over here thinking, oh, this guy's doing such a good job. He's just talking to himself. So I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to a camera. Oh, and a good run by Mark Fletcher. He's still on his feet. He'll go for 16 yards over the middle. Good run by Mark Fletcher Jr. Then the Canes fans are on their feet. Good run there. As I was saying, I'm talking to a camera. It's not easy. I much prefer to be talking to a person. Of course, you are people. Which reminds me, you can type in the chat whenever you want. I'll happily respond to your messages. Is that a good plug? I feel like that was a great plug. This is also so much more comfortable than my normal set, just being on the couch. Carson Beck, another handoff for Mark Fletcher. He'll go about 3 or 4 yards. Another solid run for Miami. And just so far, the Hurricanes have just been very consistent with their running game. They've been very impressive. I've been impressed, at least, if nothing else, with their running game. Rushing between tackles, 76% last season, which is second in the FBS to Baylor. That's interesting. I mean, Damian Martinez was great at that. I will say Damian Martinez was a beast. I'm going to miss him. I'm happy where he's at in Seattle, though. They're like my second favorite NFL team now. 2nd and 7, high snap. It's a screen, but not all went according to plan. I think it was a forward pass, though. And it is. It's incomplete. 3rd and 7. Yeah. Carson Beck just told his sideline, hey, it was a high snap. It's not my fault. And it was, in fact, a very high snap by the center. That's an error there. Yeah. These guys keep doing this. I put them in timeout. Oh, actually, wait. Bye. Or Carson Beck drops back to pass. He'll throw underneath, and it's a good play on the cutover under that. Distracted by the AI. And that'll be a solid little play there. I honestly love those little under routes. They're just so effective like 90% of the time. You get a fast guy in open space, it's incredibly hard to stop him. It's Malachi Toney, the freshman. He's a hometown hero as well from Miami. So, obviously, I mean, he's a really great. That's a really nice, well-executed play there for the Hurricanes. It'll be a quick pass over back to Malachi Toney. Toney trying to make some moves, gets a solid 11 yards and a Miami first down. That'll go to the Notre Dame 28-yard line. And will also bring us to the end of the first quarter. We're a fourth the way through this one. We got a lot of defense so far, but the offense is starting to heat up. The Hurricanes are marching down the field. 0-0 in the end of the first quarter. All right. Let's take a look. Aflac kickoff on Saturday. Watch this one as well. Same time as the Ohio State-Texas game. So it was very interesting. We had Tennessee taking on Syracuse. And I got to say, I just want to point it out because I know there's another game in here. I don't know if it was the top 25 matchup. I don't think it was. It might have been. It was not. So I'm just going to mention it. UCLA got absolutely whooped by Utah earlier in the week. Yesterday night. They got smoked. Like, forget about it. They lost 45-10 with new quarterback Nico Yamaliava. And the thing is, with all of that, they got Nico from Tennessee. But we look over, and we see Tennessee taking on this Syracuse team. And we see Syracuse they got smoked by Tennessee. And you look at the stats, Joey Aguilar went 16 of 28 for 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I wish I could have said I seen this coming. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've always liked Joey Aguilar. I liked him in UCLA. I thought he was going to be good in UCLA. I thought he was going to be good in Tennessee. I liked him at Appalachian State as well. I mean, we ignore the fact that this guy was the leading passing leader for the entirety of college football 2 years ago. He was the leader in all passing yards. Like, this guy was so good a couple of years ago for Appalachian State. And then he comes into UCLA, whole lot of drama. He ends up getting traded, essentially, the first ever college trade for Joey Aguilar. And they get traded for Nico Yamaliava. Yamaliava goes over to UCLA, first ever start. He puts up an absolute stinker. He throws for maybe 100 yards and a touchdown, and he threw an interception. And they scored 10 points. Tennessee, meanwhile, Joey Aguilar, 16 of 28, 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just saying, UCLA looks awful right now. Tennessee looks amazing. Like, Josh Heupel looks like the most genius coach that has ever existed. He's like, oh, yes, you see that old guy over there? No, that's old news. We're going to bring in the new guy, Joey Aguilar. I'm just pointing. And he comes over. And, I mean, he's just got this performance already. And it's already way better than Yamaliava did. Like, if you had pitted the two teams against each other in this one, 45-10 would have been the score, the same amount that UCLA lost to Utah. Tennessee basically just humiliated UCLA. And you know what Nico Yamaliava said? He's like, oh, yeah, this is as low as it gets. I'm like, yeah, you think? Except next week, if the same thing happens, it's not as low as it gets. Because if you continue to prove Tennessee right by trading you, UCLA's done. Like, they're going to be done with you. Like, they're going to get rid of you. They're benching you. I would. Because I don't care if you were good last year. You might have just been the product of your circumstances. Because we're looking over Joey Aguilar. He had this incredible game against a solid Syracuse team. And you're over here struggling against Utah. It's unacceptable. And honestly, Nico Yamaliava, if he wasn't already ashamed by the whole offseason saga between him and getting traded to Joey Aguilar, he should be ashamed now. He should be. It's an embarrassing performance all around. Well, Joey Aguilar, let's give him some flowers or something. This guy had to deal with all the drama as the backseater. He got traded as a part of this random thing that happened. He just kind of went to Tennessee. He's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not wanted here anymore, even though I was recruited to come here. I'm not wanted. Okay, I'll go elsewhere. I'll go to where he was. So he goes there. He puts on this show. I mean, congratulations, Joey Aguilar, but it's just humiliating for Nico Iamaleava, truly. Now, anyway, now that spiel is over, we're back. Start of the second quarter. Miami is driving down the field. They're at the Notre Dame 28-yard line here. Carson Beck will hand the ball off to Lyle. Lyle trying to break tackles. He'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage there. Be 2nd and 10. Coming up for Miami, 14:50 to play in the second. So, yeah, just a lot of defense in the first quarter, but hopefully this will get the scoring going because we kind of need it. I mean, if I were Miami, I would kind of not settle for a field goal here anymore because that was just not a good scenario. And what happened with that fumble, it was a mishap, kicking mishap, I think is the better word for it. So 2nd and 10 from that same spot, the 28 of Notre Dame. Carson Beck, he's got Lyle in the backfield with him, I believe. And he'll go play action, and he'll throw over the shoulder for the 3rd time, and it's deflected. Phenomenal defense by the Notre Dame corners, and there's an injured Irish. And he made a phenomenal play for his team, but it looks like he paid the price for it. He's in a lot of pain. Yeah. And the training staff's going to come over. I'll get you who that is in just a second if I can see the number. And Marcus Freeman's arguing something with the referees there. It's not something you want to see here. I mean, what a great play as well. Let's see what happened. Hit someone in the head. Just an awkward plant. I don't know what happened. He banged his knee against the ground pretty hard. That could have been it. And for reference, the player down is Christian Gray, Jr. out of St. Louis, Missouri. That's where he grew up. 3 interceptions last year. That's crazy. He made a phenomenal play for his team, though. So he saved a touchdown with that. That was just an incredible acrobatic play. And he should definitely be proud of himself for that one, for saving the touchdown there. Hope all's well with him. And we will see what happens after this commercial break. Ooh. All right, so after this injury break, it'll be 3rd and 10 for Miami at the 28. All right, next game. We're moving swiftly. We're gonna get through this together. All right, Indiana took on Old Dominion. So here's the deal. Everyone's like, "Oh, Fernando Mendoza, he's gonna be great." No, I was kind of on that train too. Fernando Mendoza, he's a very promising quarterback. But I am one of the people who believes that wins are a quarterback stat. And I've said this before, I believe, is that like when Jaden Daniels was getting drafted to Washington, I wasn't too confident. I was kind of like, he's kind of the wild card of this draft because, like, I don't know, he could be amazing because he's shown amazing stuff, but wins is a quarterback stat, and he doesn't have a lot of them. And it was just really confusing for a really long time about whether wins are actually down to the quarterback. And so Fernando Mendoza at California, that was the big issue for me when he's coming into Indiana. It's because he's very good. Like, he's got a lot of promise, but the wins are a quarterback stat, and he didn't have a lot of wins at Cal. So he comes into Indiana, and they had an okay game against Old Dominion. Like, I'm not going to overly hype up Fernando Mendoza. They won by 13 points against Old Dominion. And you're 20th ranked Indiana. I mean, you look at the amount of teams in the Big Ten who could have just absolutely walloped Old Dominion. Penn State, Oregon went off. Not Utah. They just switched. Conference realignments got me all in a tizzy. I mean, Ohio State probably could have beaten Old Dominion as well. I mean, this wasn't an impressive feat by any means. So, I mean, I'm sorry if there's anyone who supports Indiana around, but trust me, it's nothing to be happy about. Oh, yes, we beat Old Dominion by 13 points. That's not good. Like you're saying, right? All right, let me tell you what good is. Looking over at your Big Ten friends, Oregon winning 59-13 against Montana State. That's impressive. Anyway, back to the game now. Let's just see. I'm still not entirely certain what the injury was, but he's walking on his own accord. Yeah, he looks fine. He's standing. He's smiling. Good stuff. It's a throat injury. I did not see that coming. So it looks like he might have hit his throat on the way down. Maybe he kicked himself in the throat. That's entirely possible. Or someone kicked him in the throat. That would be painful. So Carson Beck looks to throw on 3rd and 9. He's flushed. He'll throw under severe pressure. He's got him! Touchdown, Miami! What a throw by Carson Beck! Malachi Tony! What a throw! That was incredible. He gets flushed out of the pocket and then delivers a bomb right into his hands. Wow. Touchdown, Miami. That's what I'm talking about. Incredible. That was just a really good play. Whew. They're kicking the extra point now. Canes are up 6-0 pending the extra point after a remarkable throw by Carson Beck. Extra point's good, just barely, but it's good. I don't trust this kicker. 7-0. 7-0. We got points. The Hurricanes have the lead 7-0. I love that. That was an amazing play. I mean, Malachi Tony, he ran this route to perfection. Like, that's a standard route. And then the ball was slightly underthrown. But credit to Tony for coming back to this ball. And I mean, just Carson Beck, the pocket presence, the patience. He knew he was about to take a hit, and he stood in there. And he ended up not actually taking the hit, but he's got a guy in his face, a guy on his right. Just incredible patience and presence to be able to make that throw with such accuracy and poise. That's exactly why we brought him to Miami. That's an incredible play for the Hurricanes to get them on the board early. First score of the game. Woo, incredible. And you see a corner for Notre Dame. He's not happy about that one. I mean, he did have him, but overall, just a remarkable play. He did need to make the tackle there from a Notre Dame perspective, but there's no stopping excellence. Like, I mean, even in former national championship games, if you're going to look around and you're going to see there's an absolute laser being thrown to a guy who makes an absolute incredible catch, and you're like, oh, I didn't make the tackle. You can't stop excellence like that. They just got outplayed on that one. Phenomenal play. Absolutely incredible. And so the kickoff will give C.J. Carr the ball back after that just dime from Carson Beck. That is why we brought him. And they're going to return this one. And he is tripped up at about the 15, legs taken out from under him. Great special teams play by Miami. So C.J. Carr will start his next drive at his own 15-yard line. Yeah, I have to go British to clear my throat. Talking for an hour and 7 minutes straight can do this to you. I recommend it. Carson Beck with a little celebration with Malachi Tony on the sideline. This kid looks good. He's a freshman, but he looks good. He looks really good. I don't know if he's related to Kadarius Toney, but the speed's definitely there if he is, because, wow, that guy's fast. He's got some speed. He's got good route running as well. And he's made some nice catches. And so overall, I've been very impressed with that young man there. Carr looks to throw under pressure. He'll throw the dump off to Jeremiah Love, and that'll go for about 3 yards to the left hash. 13:50 to play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Yeah, wow. I'm still just in awe at that throw. Incredible. Carson Beck, 7 of 12 for 87 yards and a touchdown so far. And so far, I mean, Notre Dame has been wildly disappointing offensively, if I'm being totally honest with you. See, you look at the stat here, Miami's 111 yards, Notre Dame is 45. They've just not been able to get this run game going. We see here Jeremiah Love just takes a quick 3 yards. Nothing more. That'll be like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Yeah, it's just they haven't been able to generate that run game so far in this one. It'll definitely be interesting. Corey Heatherman is very animated on the sideline for Miami, trying to get this 3rd down stop. Sorry. I'm a little partial. A little. 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Notre Dame, they're 1 of 3 on 3rd down tonight. 12:45 to play. Miami shows pressure. They only rush 3. Bain gets to him. Incomplete. Good pressure off the edge from Ruben Bain Jr., forcing the disruption. Corey Heatherman pumped up after that one. 4th and 4 coming up for Notre Dame. They're going to be forced to punt. Really great play. This Miami sideline is pumped up right now. You just see Ruben Bain. He just bull rushes off the side, forces a quicker throw than he would have wanted, and that ball just slips out of the hands. I mean, these are not optimal conditions. And Corey Heatherman, wow, this guy's pumped up for his team. That's good to see. Our last defensive coordinator wouldn't get pumped up about anything. And so Notre Dame's punting it away. And Miami will take it at about the 34. Nice. So Carson Beck, a minute off the field. No biggie. Let's get back at it. The Canes are back on. I've been there. Hey, look, I've been there. I know exactly where that is. I've been there. Yeah, distracted. Sorry. All right. Back to the recap. How am I going to do this for 2 more hours? No, I'm fine. So we look over. Next game, we got another Big Ten powerhouse taking center stage. It's Penn State, the Nittany Lions. They're definitely the college football playoff. They're the national championship favorites. I'm willing to say it. And Drew Aller looked really, really good again. 22 of 26 for 217 yards and a touchdown. He was like surgically accurate. And their running game really didn't get going too much. We didn't see a whole lot of Singleton or Katron Allen, to be honest. That has to fix a little bit as things go on. But Drew Aller overall looked incredibly accurate for the Nittany Lions. And just put on a really nice show, all in all, for Penn State. They ended up winning that one 46-11. Very impressive day for the Nittany Lions, as I'm probably going to take over the 1 seed over Texas after Texas's loss. Woo, all right. Easy stuff. Then we look over Georgia. Absolutely walloped Marshall. To be expected. But granted, Gunnar Stockton had a better game than I was expecting. He had a total of 263 yards, which he clocked in as well. 4 touchdowns. If you count passing and rushing, 263 yards total and 4 touchdowns. He was a do-it-yourself kind of guy out there. I mean, he had a really great game for Georgia as they won that one 45-7. Really, really solid performance there. This is going to die. I got a computer over here that's running low on battery. It'll be fine. 10%'s enough to last 2.5 hours. Said everyone ever. Famous last words. So yeah, anyway, Gunnar Stockton, just really impressive. He had a much better game than I was anticipating. So he's the guy who took over for Carson Beck. Speaking of it, I mean, just what a game that he had. Carson Beck kind of tried to keep that magic he had over in Georgia going in Miami, as we saw a little bit of it on that touchdown. Georgia's over here trying to cope with the fact that they don't have Beck anymore. They're rolling with Gunnar Stockton. And Stockton, so far, he's proven him right, but it was just Marshall. They don't have a real challenge yet. But don't worry, they got a good challenge. 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then 4 weeks, and then pretty much every other week after that. Because as soon as they finish off Austin Peay next week, yes, that's their name, Austin Peay. Aha. Then they have Tennessee the week after that, followed by Alabama, Kentucky, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, Mississippi State, Texas. And then they get a little bit of a respite with Charlotte and then Georgia Tech. It's not an easy schedule for the Bulldogs. Speaking of Bulldogs, though, we're back in Miami, where former Bulldogs quarterback Carson Beck is ready to play for the Hurricanes. He's got maybe a minute of break time, but he's ready to go for another deep drive, hopefully to pad the lead for the Hurricanes here. Here comes Beck from their own 34-yard line. And it'll be a handoff to Mark Fletcher. Or is that Jordan Lyle? It might be Lyle. A little bit of a skirmish between 2 players over there. It was Fletcher. You can really tell from their body type. So they've kind of really bulked up. Mark Fletcher, I think he's done a nice job bulking up this season. Because last year for Miami, they had Damian Martinez, who was the big dude in their backfield. And Mark Fletcher was kind of the little more speedier guy. And Jordan Lyle was even more than that. And now they've kind of bulked up Mark Fletcher a little bit. So that's very interesting to see. Notre Dame showing pressure. They rush a blitz. Beck throws a laser over the middle, and that's incomplete. He throws it a little bit behind him. Notre Dame player loses a shoe. It'll be 3rd and 8 coming up from Miami after the no shoe play. So 11:51. Here in the second quarter, 7-0 Miami. Canes try and keep this drive alive. Notre Dame does need a stop here. So far, their offense has not been able to generate enough horsepower to be able to get going. They really got to get Jeremiah Love going. They have to get him going. Like I said it at the beginning, I'm still saying it. Without Jeremiah Love, they cannot win this game. And so far, they are proving me right. Carson Beck, he's all alone in the backfield. He's got 3 on the play clock. He'll get the snap off. He's under pressure. He steps up. Beck's going to take it himself. He takes a shot. He extends for the first down. What a bold run. This is coming back, however. I'm like 90%. Beck looks a little beaten out there. He's like, did I get it? First down? This one's going to be a holding. It's going to come back against Miami. Here. It's Adam Savoy. But he'll make the call just as anticipated, holding on the offense. So that'll save Notre Dame. Again, Notre Dame has gotten a little lucky. So for Miami that time, that was just them shooting themselves in the foot. Honestly, Miami should have 10 points if not for these self-inflicted mistakes. And now they should have 10 points and a first down. Carson, he made quite the effort to get the first down. He's like, I did it, and you're just taking it away from me? Yes. So that was a really good play, dangerous. Not exactly what you want your quarterback getting himself into, especially not one with an injury history such as Carson Beck's. 3rd and 18 coming up from Miami. This has to be a deep play here. Got 18 yards to the marker at your own 26, I want to say. I think they're at their own 26. If I'm doing my math right. So he's all alone yet again. Notre Dame's going to rush it. It's a screen, and that's not going to work at all. I cannot stand that play call. They're saying he fumbled. No chance. Yeah, it's Miami football. I can't stand that play call. I mean, I hate it when the Dolphins do it because that's one of their favorite calls. 3rd and long, screen pass. Hurricanes, apparently they're doing it as well. 3rd and long, I know what to do, screen pass. But let me tell you something. In case you did not know, the screen pass does not work 80% of the time. Sure, if you got a fast guy, it's a good play for first down. On 3rd down, you got to get 35 yards. Try an arm punt. As well. Like, I mean, if you're going to throw one down there, you're either going to punt it, it's going to get intercepted, or you're going to drop it. Okay? Just do one of them. It's not like it's 4th down. So Hurricanes punt again, heavy pressure on the punter. And that'll be fair caught. No, he actually fielded it and gets swarmed at about the 32-yard line. A little bit of coaching advice. We're going to get real close now. The coaching advice, don't throw screen passes. They don't work. So we're seeing a little bit of that chippy rivalry up there. We saw a little bit of that earlier. They're pointing that out. They're pointing out the legendary rivalry between Miami and Notre Dame in the original fights that started. But I'm telling you, screen passes, coaching advice, don't do them on 3rd down. I've seen so many teams have to punt the ball because they run a screen pass on 3rd down. There is no risk in throwing the ball downfield on 3rd and like 30. If it's 3rd and 30, don't throw a screen. There's more risk in throwing a screen pass than there is throwing the ball 30 yards down the field. Think about it. What if the ball gets intercepted? It's gone to the house. If the ball is a lateral and your guy drops it to the house, what if he just doesn't catch it on a 4 pass? It's a completion. You get nothing. But, if you throw it down the field and your guy catches it, makes a great play, you got 35 yards, drives continues, and you're way deeper than you have to be. Or if it doesn't work, he just drops it. Great. Punt. Or, gets intercepted. Arm punt. Sure, it doesn't look good on a stat sheet. Who cares? You're going to win the game that way. A little bit of coaching knowledge there. Coaching you and coaching. Anyway, now that's over with. Other college football scores from this week and the reaction. We just got done with a game. It was good. I know where we're at. We're at Alabama, Florida State. I intentionally left it for the next commercial break because people were surprised. I don't know why they were surprised. They were all like, oh, Alabama's going to be so good. Why? They have Ty Simpson as their quarterback and Kalen DeBoer. I'm telling you, I knew that Kalen DeBoer wasn't going to be all that as soon as Jonathan Smith struggled in Michigan State. They were cropped from the same field. You took them out, you put them in new conferences, tougher conferences, they're going to struggle. And so far, that's been the case. Jonathan Smith struggling over at Michigan State, and we're seeing this very similar thing happening. Over on the other side with Kalen DeBoer, I was not surprised. I was not at all surprised that they lost to Florida State. I picked Florida State to win. Like I didn't think they were going to win by that much. Okay, I'll give you that. I expected it to be like a 3-point game because I don't like Florida State that much. But I knew they were going to win because people have held on. And the College Football Committee has held on to the false belief that Alabama is still run by Nick Saban, the false belief that they still have Jalen Hurts or Tua Tagovailoa or Jalen Miller or any Alabama quarterback over the last 10 years under center. But that's a false belief. They don't have any reason to be thinking that because ultimately Alabama sucked last year. Let's be real. And they did so again this year. They lost to Florida State in week 1. I'm not at all surprised. So people were like, oh, no, they were 5th ranked. I looked at the fact that they were 8th ranked and I scoffed because it's ridiculous that you rank a team that has such zero potential that high at 8th. It's crazy. Anyway, the game's back. CJ Carr hands the ball off. They've swapped running backs out. He's still not going anywhere on the run. That was Jadarian Price. So let's take a look at CJ Carr. His snap to pass he's been fast. He's got 1.9 seconds on the first pass, 1.4 on the second. He's been throwing the quick screen so far in this one. And I mean, that's the way to do it. You got a new quarterback, you want to make it easy for him. And so far, Marcus Freeman's calling the plays that's going to make it easy for him. It's 2nd and 8. He hasn't taken many shots so far. I'm looking forward to seeing that first moment. This is a QB draw for Carr. Carr takes a shot from Ruben Bain. Not necessarily a guy you want to get boomed by necessarily. CJ, look at this. CJ Carr, 6 of 9 on the day. All completions within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. If Notre Dame wants to win this game, they need to start running the ball and they need to start taking risks because you're not going to get by this Miami team that easily. They're trying to skimp out saying, oh, we can beat them by the dink and dunk, but Miami's going to figure that out. Miami's showing heavy pressure. Price didn't jump offside there, and it looks like Price is going to get the first down. It might be a little shy, but I'm pretty sure he got the first down. Ooh, all right. I'm sorry. I'm still hyped up about my Alabama. I was a no Bama roll tide. All right. Sorry, Bama fans. It had to be said. So 1st and 10 for Notre Dame. They did give them the first down. 9:30 to play until halftime. Man, it's been a long 20 minutes of football play. Hand off to Price. Price breaks a tackle. He's still going. He'll get a solid 15 yards on an extra push there. Good run there by Price. Telling you, you got to run the football. It was Jadarian Price. If Jeremiah Love's not doing it, I think they made the right choice putting Price in. So far, Price is running the ball nicely. There's 2 keys to the game. Don't try and dink and dunk on Miami. It's not going to work. And then run the football. And Miami's calling timeout there. They know. That's just a smart timeout by Miami. They're trying to get your team back in the game. They're saying, hey, they just swapped running backs. They're starting to run the ball more. They're not settling for the screens anymore, we don't think. They haven't shown it yet. But I doubt they're settling for the screens. So that's Corey Heatherman trying to get his team back in the game, saying, hey, snap to attention. We got to get ourselves back in this. We're not stopping the run. We got to stop the run more. So he's just trying to refocus the priority of this Miami defense in this timeout. But overall, good job by Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman by switching the play calling up a bit to more of a run scheme. Because that's something that needed to happen. Because Notre Dame, they're trying to win this game so far. They're trying to win by being bad. Which is no offense to them, like in their play calling scheme, but I hate dink and dunk schemes. I can't stand them. They're so boring. I'm in it for the entertainment factor. They're throwing 2-yard pass after 2-yard pass and hoping it goes right. It's not how it works. So it'll be a snap. They're going to go with the run again. And he's tripped up in the backfield. Really good tackle. It'll be about a yard maybe for the Fighting Irish. 2nd down. Coming up for Notre Dame, it'll be 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 8. So I want to see what happened to Price's leg. Ooh, he stepped on his teammate, which caused the fall there. I was going to say, it looked a little too clean. No one took him out. So yeah, it was just he stepped on his own teammate. Got to be a little safer there. 2nd and 9. He's trying to CJ Carr in his first ever studies. He's not had a bad day. It's not been his best, but we don't have anything to measure against. So, overall, I've been fairly impressed with his play, and he throws over the middle. That's his first pass of 3+ yards. Oh, my goodness. And his wide receiver gets lifted into the air by the Hurricane defender, but it does go for a first down. Really good throw by CJ Carr. Quick thinking. That might have still been in 3 yards, actually, but the Hurricanes defender just picked him up, saying, "You're not getting any more yards than you already have. Not in my house." 7:40 until halftime. 1st and 10. Notre Dame driving downfield for the first real time today. Got Love in motion. He's back in the game here. He'll go play action. He drops deep. He'll try and throw a wheel over to Love, and he overthrows him by a mile. And he's saying, "I got him locked in." He's locked down over there. Wheel route does not work. I actually like wheel routes. I'm a big fan of them. But you got to be able to not be locked into it, which is the other thing, is you can throw the wheel route quite a bit. I like wheel routes. It's an easy way to send a running back. For a running back route, Texas or wheel, really easy to send them out on, and they work. They're pretty effective. But you got to be able to throw to other people. He just took his first read there. CJ Carr will hand the ball off to Price again. Price bounces it outside. He's got a man to beat. He's at the 20, the 10, one man, and he's down at the 3-yard line. What a run by Jadarian Price, and a big-time run for Notre Dame. Doing exactly what they have to do. 1st and goal for the Irish. I'm telling you, that's great blocking, by the way. They did exactly what they have to do. They ran to the outside. I don't think anyone was expecting that. What a block there by 54. I'm going to find this guy. I'm going to call him out because it may not have been a perfectly legal block because he went a little low, but what an efficient block that was to just keep it. He just completely shaped that play. Anthony Knapp, spelled with a K, and Anthony spelled really strangely. 30-yard rush by Jadarian Price there, and CJ Carr is going to call timeout for Notre Dame. They ran out of time on the play clock. But wow, what a play there. You just see Knapp. He just kind of bends the edge rusher inwards. He's saying, "I'm just going to, I'll hold on to you. I don't care." He kind of just blocked him from getting the edge. He was fine, actually, just letting him go around. But, he hits him face first. And what he did is he actually covered the middle. And since it's an edge rushers tend to bounce a little to the outside. So he used that to his advantage. Really, really clever offensive line play by Notre Dame to be able to get that 30-yard scamper. It'll be 1st and goal for the Irish after this timeout. 1st and goal as they waltz onto the field. I don't know if I've mentioned who the offensive coordinator for Notre Dame is. It is Mike Denbrock. Mike Denbrock is the one calling the plays on offense for Notre Dame. It was a really loud swallow. Sorry. 1st and goal, 6:38 to go. 7-0 Miami. Notre Dame at the 4. It's a design run. Carr, nowhere to run. Just does not work. So far, all I've seen is CJ Carr is not fast enough and he's not big enough to get that QB draw to work successfully. He's done that about 4 times now. I think he's been stuffed every single time. He just does not have the speed or size to be able to make that. Riley Leonard has 17 rushing touchdowns last season. He's a different species. Leonard's a big dude. He's got the power to be able to do it. I don't think Carr has either. He hands it off to Price. Price fumbles the football, but Carr gets back on top of it. Oh, man. This Miami defense is hitting hard right now. 3rd and goal. Looks like we might be getting a goal line stand here. He hands it off. Clean snap. Just what a hit. Boom. He just punched it right out. That is just textbook forcing fumbles. Credit to CJ Carr for being alert and getting it. Corey Heatherman, man. This guy, he's got some fire in him. Looking over at him on the sideline, he looks like he's seeing 7 dimensions over there. like all 4 dimensions, like on the exponential, like we do. Subscribe. And you see Carr, he scrambles to his left. He's under a lot of pressure. Chase down. He's backtracking. He's got to throw it away. Carr is trying to make his way back. He throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. C.J. Carr, what a play. And we've seen everything in this one. Micah Gilbert on the reception. If he wasn't in so much trouble on that one, Miami really needed to keep the pursuit on him. But what a play, making the best out of a blown play for C.J. Carr. Absolutely incredible. I mean, look at this. He tries to roll out. Oh, no. There's a guy in my face. Come this way. Oh, no. I'm going the other way. He scrambles this way. He looks. He keeps his eyes down the field. That's just a massive part of this for Notre Dame. He kept his eyes down the field. You love that for your young quarterback. He never took his eyes off the receivers. That was a phenomenal play by C.J. Carr. And the extra points right down the middle. 7-7. It's a tie ball game. And suddenly Notre Dame, the run game's back into it. C.J. Carr made a big throw and he actually threw the ball more than 3 yards. They can hear me. Hello, Notre Dame. They're listening. They know what they have to do at this point. I'm telling you, it should have been the game plan from the beginning. I think it was wrong that it wasn't their game plan from the beginning. But I'm glad that they finally figured it out. It's going to be a real good game now. Now, the question is, can Miami continuously penetrate this Notre Dame defense? Can they continuously get down the field? We'll see. They're on next after this commercial break. Ooh, we got a good one, folks. Oh, never mind. We're back. C.J. Carr, I mean, there's a lot to be proud of with this kid after that play. Like, if Notre Dame loses this game and they have no good clips of C.J. Carr other than that one, that's a good clip. Because, I mean, his wide receiver did exactly the right things. Just stay open. No matter what's happening, just be alert of your quarterback, stay open. And C.J. Carr, no matter where he scrambled on the field, he never took his eyes off the receivers. He never took his eyes off downfield. He did such a good job. He was alert, but he's also looking. He's always looking. He's got multiple people, and he took the easier one, actually. He actually threw to the easier receiver to throw to. So credit to him. He just made an incredible play. And Miami defenders are just so frustrated about that. But, I mean, that's tough. That's tough to defend. When the play breaks down like that, that's just incredible improvisation skills from C.J. Carr. A lot to be proud of. Marcus Freeman knows it too. So does everyone on that Notre Dame bench. They're like, wow, this guy has some talent. So he may not have the running game down like Riley Leonard did, at least not so far as we've seen. But he's been impressive. At least that was impressive. Most of the time it's been dink and dunks, but I like that last Notre Dame drive. We're going to need to see more of that if they're going to win this game. We got a man in motion for Miami at their own 25. Handoff goes to somebody. Sorry. It's number 6 from Miami, who clocked into work today as Charmar Brown. Out of Omaha, Nebraska. Charmar Brown on the run there. He'll be the tertiary running back for Miami this year. Second and 5, 4:50 to play till the half. Beck trying to get this Miami offense another score before halftime. He'll look to throw. Pressure coming. He throws over the middle, a laser beam to his favorite target of the day. That's Malachi Toney. This guy's been good. They've got a little bit of a connection going, a lot of chemistry. I'm liking what I'm seeing there from this Miami offense. They're getting some chemistry going, similar to that of Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo last season. And we're seeing it again between this guy, Malachi Toney, and Carson Beck. 1st and 10. It's 7-7, 4:15. Miami's letting the play clock. They only have one timeout left, by the way, so they could use this entire 4 minutes to make the plays that they have to make. It's going to be a handoff, and this one will go about 3 yards probably, maybe less. And a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of that one. A lot of pushing and shoving. Offensive lineman getting into it a little bit. That was, again, Charmar Brown, who was on the carry. Charmar Brown. Where did you go to school, Charmar? North Dakota State, having to look really closely at the jersey of his picture because they haven't replaced it with the Miami one yet. He's a transfer coming in from North Dakota State. which is a powerhouse FCS school. Google it. Carson Beck, 3:25 to play, 2nd and 7 from their own 40-yard line. Beck looks to throw down the field. He'll step up in the pocket. He throws on the run. Is it caught? They're saying it's a catch. First down, Miami. Very nice. Does C.J. Daniels, the transfer from LSU. I'm surprised he caught that. That's a tough catch to make because it was behind him at that point. Good hands by C.J. Daniels. Ugh. I need halftime. Even commentators need halftime too. It's been an hour and a half. I'm sorry. 1st and 10. 2:45 to play. 2-minute warning approaching quickly. One timeout for Miami. They're going to take this entire quarter if they have to, because here's the deal. Miami gets the ball after halftime. If everything goes according to plan, the Canes could be up 21-7 before the Fighting Irish even touch the ball again. That was an option there. Kind of worked a bit. 4 yards for the Hurricanes. Could have been a little better. And that was Brown again. And this one will take us down to the 2-minute warning. Cue epic music. Just pretend. Sorry, I don't think I can sing that. Like, I want to sing the Monday Night Football song. And this is the 2-minute warning. 7-7 from Miami Gardens in Miami, in Florida, South Beach. Canes, Irish, 7-7 apiece. 2nd and 7 when we come back. Carson Beck trying to lead them down the field to try and double up before the Irish get the ball back. We'll see all of that and more after this. Dun, dun, dun. Whew, all right. My throat needs a break. Yeah, so at halftime, probably my drink's empty. Like, literally, I've been drinking air for about the last 10, 15 minutes now. Yes, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, dramatic. I've been drinking air for the last 15, 20 minutes. That's normal. I do that. I'll kind of just drink and be like, I mean, there's a little left, not much. Okay, there's more than I thought. I just wasn't pulling back far enough. There's a reason I do that, because this cup's actually very flawed. It has a little hole for air, for the oxygen, at the top. So when you drink and you put it all the way back, and you're drinking from it, like a good amount of water will come out of a little tiny hole and just splash you in the face. It's really annoying, which is what just happened there. I didn't think I had that much. So I just kind of downed it. And it happens. It's been a fun game so far. I love college. It's so much fun. It's my second sport. Being thirsty is just a mindset. Exactly. Throats being dry, not so much. My throat will be better. I just have to think it'll be better. That's some real psychology. Yeah. So I'm going to get up. I'm probably going to get some chips, because ain't no game day better without some chips. New drink. That's pretty much it. And then I'll come back here. Might do a little halftime report. Give you keys to the second half. Because why not? Been talking for an hour and 37 minutes. What kind of chips? Tortilla chips? I think. We don't really have anything. We still don't have anything. We just got back a little bit ago to this studio location, and we don't have any food. We have food. We just don't have edible food. Well, that's not true. We do have edible. I'm not allowed to eat the edible food. I'm saving it. So I think we have like a fourth of a bag of tortilla chips left from the other day. But we got clean water. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. Come back and do a little report. Then we'll be back for the second half, where hopefully things will be more exciting. I've only gotten to do 2 touchdown calls. I feel like they were both really good, though. Pretty happy with them, I think. I feel like the Miami one is a little better. We should make a poll. I don't have the energy to make a poll. I will say, couch, like 10 times more comfortable than the chair with no back that I normally sit on. It's pretty comfy. I'm kind of enjoying. I could just like lay down. You wouldn't even know I was here because you can't see the back of the couch. At least I don't think you would know that I was here. Just lay back. They have the Hard Rock Stadium lights turned green for the Hurricanes, which is kind of ironic considering literally everything else is orange. So we're back in Miami. They've crossed over the 50-yard line of Notre Dame. They're at the Notre Dame 48. Carson Beck, they have 2 minutes, 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw, and he'll throw out of the backfield to the transfer from North Dakota State. He'll get the first down and over the 40-yard line. And if you do not know, in college, the rules are differently. If you get a first down, the clock stops. So they have no need to waste a timeout. That's going to stop the clock for them. They can take their time. 1st and 10 from the 39, 38? Let's say 38. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line, 140 to play. Oh, never mind. I was totally wrong. Whatever. I don't know where I came up with that. It might be only at the end of the game. I'm not entirely certain. I need to brush up on my rules. And that'll be a 3-yard carry, maybe 4, which will get them right about into field goal range for the opportunity to double up on Notre Dame. So Miami's kind of taking their time here. Carson Beck's trying to wrap things up a bit. That's not going to last 2.5 hours. Sorry, I'm looking at this, and it's like 5% left. I'm like, oh, no. Beck looks to throw. He'll throw. He's got a wide open man. A receiver, he's going to try and bounce it outside. He gets the first down. He'll stay inbounds, though. And the Hurricanes still taking their time. Clock stops. That's right. I know the rules. It's a clock starts on the whistle. So the clock will stop as long as they're going on the play, and then when the whistle is blown, the clock will start again. So the whistle is just blown. They're getting ready. All right. I know what I'm doing. Probably. Wait, do I? 45 seconds to play. They're getting close. They're at the 29-yard line, 28-yard line, 1st and 10. They're in field goal range. Beck looks to throw. He'll throw one out back to the running back again, who gets upended in the air, and he'll be just inside the red zone. I know Miami's not going to call their timeout yet. They're really saving it to the last possible second. If you're Miami, you're just going to throw up a couple of shots at the end zone here. They just called their timeout, didn't they? They did. Yeah. Timeout Miami. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout. Don't love that. They could have made it. They had time. But then again, Mario Cristobal is not known for his clock management. If you're wondering why I say his name that way, it's because it's fun. And I can. It's like everyone else on Miami, like when they had, Cam Ward, Xavier Restrepo was fun. My favorite name of last year's team to say, Elisha Arroyo, because he's got the double R. It's beautiful. Arroyo. 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 So you get to hear the rolled R. So much fun. And then, of course, Mario Cristobal. Or, Mario Cristobal, as Americans say. Second and 3 coming up for Miami. They have 18 seconds. They're just going to take a couple shots at the end zone, honestly. I don't expect them to do anything with these 18 seconds. They're going to try and score. Notre Dame's far backed off. Beck under pressure. He throws. Oh, my goodness. That was almost a... He caught it! Are you kidding? I didn't think he caught it! What a play! CJ Daniels just made the catch of the week. Touchdown, Miami. What? What a catch. I so thought he dropped it. Wow, what a drive. It's all about the U, baby. There's no doubt in that one. What a catch. CJ Daniels, welcome to Miami. And Carson Beck, for that matter. What a throw under pressure. What a catch, though. And Miami executed to perfection. That was one of the best 2-minute drills you're going to see, which is not characteristic of Miami. See Georgia Tech 2023. This play's under review. No, I don't accept. I got all that excited just for it to be under review. Wow. What a catch. That's incredible. He just OBJ'd that. That's insane. For those that don't, Odell Beckham Jr. Google it, Odell Beckham Jr., Giants, no, YouTube it, whatever. Wait, no, don't YouTube it. Then you'd have to leave. No, Google it. Just incredible. Wow. He just absolutely plucked that from the sky. I mean, first of all, great throw by Carson Beck. But wow. Just wow. That's just, oh my goodness. And Miami's sideline is just hyped up after that one. He's still got his headset. He just drags that guy's headset with him. Incredible catch. There's no doubt about it. That's a touchdown, baby. That's incredible. That's the kind of play we came to watch. It's all worth it. The almost 2 hours of first half play. It's all worth it now. Just because of that. It's a touchdown. What a catch. I so thought he dropped it. All right, I changed my mind. That was the best, worst call ever. That was amazing. I cannot believe he caught that. Put her up, folks. See you later, Notre Dame. 14-7, pending the extra point. We'll see it, and it is good. 14-7 with the chance to double down before Notre Dame gets the ball because Miami is getting the ball after halftime. Ooh, what a turn of events. What a route, by the way. Oh, my goodness. I mean, talk about, he just had like a full-on like Madden gameplay, like, college football 25. He just went crazy on it. First, he has one of the best routes. You just watch this. He goes up and then throws it up there one-handed. That's a special skill point right there. Wow. That is incredible concentration. Just fun. I thought he dropped it. I saw something flying. Turns out it was just like a glove. And Michael Irvin, that's game respecting game right there. Oh, what a catch, dude. CJ Daniels tonight, 3 receptions, 34 yards, and 1 touchdown. Wow. All worth it. That's a phenomenal play. Wow. And that'll be a touchback. Notre Dame, just take a knee, folks. Just end it. End it now. My cup just assaulted me. Wow. Just wow. That's so... I don't want to go to halftime anymore. I want to play. That was exactly the kind of energy that this game needed, the atmosphere that it needed for everyone in the stands, because that was incredible. That's the kind of play that you will see in the college football playoffs. That's just cementing that Miami deserves a spot in this. The crowd is having a great time. They're taking a knee. They're taking it to halftime. They don't think there's any hope. We're going to halftime, folks, and Miami's got the chance to put the 2 eyes in Miami with 2 touchdowns to go in before Notre Dame is going to get a real drive. They're getting the second half kickoff. They're up 14-7. What a turn of events. Incredible. Wow. That's just what a catch. All right. I'm sorry. This is the kind of thing I get giddy about. I'm weird. I know, like, so unprofessional. That's why I can't commentate on, like, Hurricanes games. Dolphins games are worse. But, like, Hurricanes, I'm not even a huge Hurricanes fan, which is the funny part. Like, I'm mostly impartial. It's just like, if there's 2 teams on the field and one of them's the Hurricanes. Oh, Marcus Freeman does not look happy. The rain is reflecting his mood. I can hear what he's saying. But just incredible last couple of minutes of the drive there. Just well executed. phenomenal play by Miami. Just that catch, mind-boggling. Incredible catch. Someone's got to timestamp that. I might make a short about that because that was crazy. Just what a good catch. That's the kind of stuff we watch football for. Just saying. All right. They're into halftime. I'm going to go. I'll be back sooner rather than later after I look at this first half showdown comparison. CJ Carr, we've gone 8 of 12. He's been really good accuracy-wise. He's got 54 passing yards and a touchdown. Carson Beck has been much better. He's 13 of 20, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Carson Beck he's been phenomenal so far. He's been everything Miami's wanted. And I mean, I know I'm looking at it saying, like, you realize that Taylon Green put up 6 touchdowns for Arkansas just like yesterday, right? This isn't a good game. This is one of the best defenses in college football. Notre Dame's a really good defense. Like, let no one take that away from Notre Dame because we realize this is a team fresh off of making the national championship game. This is a team that earned their way there, and it was more about their defense along their way than it was their offense. So considering that, 14 points in the first half with the chance to double down coming out of halftime, it's an incredible performance for Miami and a great atmosphere as well. They've done a really great job in Hard Rock. I mean, they brought everyone to come to this opener against Notre Dame because it's all Canes fans. I hardly saw an Irish fan in sight. Just an incredible atmosphere, incredible game. I'm really looking forward to the second half. Before I can do that, though, water, because I was losing my voice until the one-handed catch. Because it turns out the less interesting things are, the more I lose my voice. I'll keep that in mind. All right, thank you guys so much for watching the first half. I will be back in probably under 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. We'll be back after halftime. Boo. I scared no one. um, wow. I'm still like, I was saying it all the way, got everything I needed, and I was just like, what a catch. This is the stuff I do that I do in my free time. You know, as sad as it sounds, I spend at least probably about like 20 minutes a day looking back at highlights and just going, wow, like what an incredible play. Like that's what we do. Well, I do. I don't know about the other guys. Don't speak for them. That's what I do. That's what you got to do. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Look what Dan Orlovsky is doing right now. Wait, is that Dan? I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, Dan Orlovsky is doing now. He's just going through. Look at this. Look at this. You see, this is a map, and on this map we got things here, and then go there. Oh, except he actually has sports stuff going on. Where's your Steelers backpack? In a suitcase. It's downstairs. We just got here. I do have it. Yeah, it's here. I brought it. It actually, I'm trying to think about whether it made an appearance in anything that I did over the summer. I think it did, actually. 'Cause it was the bag I brought to a few things. It's just not here. But I got Gators, Chiefs, Eagles behind me, and then a Dolphins jersey as well. Yeah, so I got everything. I'm all packed. I'm ready. This is good enough. To you too. I'll take What do you mean you take Gators? You're not taking any of it. Mine is actually it's the Gators just newish, and I say newish because it's like it's I don't know when I got it. I got it in like early summer. I don't think it was the summer. I think I've had it for a bit. It's hard to remember though, because I got it a little bit ago, and it was pretty soon after the Gators won the national championship, because that is a national championship shirt. I just got it a couple. I can't remember when I got it honestly. After March, obviously. Um, so it might have been just one of the first weeks we were back or something. And I just got it because I'm like, oh, there's only so many times when there's a team in your state that's going to be able to win a championship of any kind. Still ashamed I don't have any Florida Panthers merch. Don't mention it. I also happen to not have any Hurricanes merch. I just don't buy merch that often. I should. I'm going to start. Are you impressed with the silence of my chewing? So skilled. It takes practice. It's actually really hard to push a button. Be surprised. So earlier today, we had the first of our doubleheader. Not my doubleheader, just a doubleheader. It was called the Beamer Bowl. And the Beamer Bowl is because Shane Beamer is the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks. And him being the coach there, his father, whose name I've forgotten, it was like Darren. And Darren, something like that. I'm just going to call him Beamer Sr. And Beamer, he played for Virginia Tech. He was the coach for Virginia Tech for several years, one of the best coaches in Virginia Tech history. And so he comes over, and now his son is coaching for South Carolina, and now they're on opposing sides. But the senior Beamer told the junior Beamer that he's supporting South Carolina all the way, that he's always going to support his son. And little did he know, that ended up helping quite a bit, because in the end, South Carolina pulled out with a 24-11 victory. If you're wondering how Virginia Tech got the 11, 3 field goals and a safety. Yeah. College football, everyone. I will say something I haven't mentioned. I don't think before. If it happens, it seems to happen a lot where I always am rubbing my nose. And it's not because of anything other than the fact that I'm allergic to everything. Like pollen is a big one. But if I like go outside for a few minutes, I will start sneezing. So I sneezed earlier. I just muted. I'm like, oh, all right. But then like since then, I'm just like my nose just gets really itchy. So it's not weird. Don't worry, it's just allergies. We've all been there. Except I'm allergic to nature. I got I got unlucky with that. Only in specific countries though. Only in specific. I'm not allergic to nature in all countries. Just some countries. Is that a Starbucks? So in a random Starbucks in Miami Gardens. I've probably been to that Starbucks. I actually don't know. Have I ever been to a Starbucks in Miami Gardens? Like how his name tag says GOAT. That's awesome. That's so cool. University of Oklahoma. Yep, that's college game day. Next week, it's Michigan at Oklahoma. Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern's when that starts. It'll be the first ever college game day without Lee Corso. So that's going to be sad. Well, not the first ever, but it's going to be sad nonetheless. And that one is in Norman, Oklahoma. Raise your hand if you know where Norman is. Of course, I know where Norman is. It's in Oklahoma. So that was the correct answer, by the way. And raise your hand if you know where Norman is. It's in Oklahoma. Come on, catch up. This is halftime, everyone. This is what happens at halftime. It's like commentary after hours. This infuriates me. Sorry. Just pointing at the screen right now. It says TCU, really small, at North Carolina in the biggest letters possible. North Carolina might be fine. Bill Belichick might be great. We don't know. But it is disrespectful to TCU because TCU has one of the most established head coaches in college football. They have a quarterback who led all of college football in passing yards last season. It is unacceptable. It's embarrassing to be considering to have that there. It's not even, there's no, the impartiality of sports is gone now. And that's something that really bothers me. Like, I know that I'm like rooting for Miami, but you notice I haven't said once, I haven't been like, oh yeah, Notre Dame's the worst. Because I don't believe that. I think they're a really good team. I think it means a lot if Miami wins this one. I think it means a lot if Notre Dame wins. I think this is just a great matchup. But what they're doing over there is they're saying, North Carolina, this team, this is the real deal. We're just going to ignore the fact that TCU, they're still a good team. Like, that's why many, like, ESPN's gone a little too far with that. It's very strange to me that they're putting so much hype on someone who's never been seen before rather than the original air raid scheme. Well, not original, but he runs such a historic air raid scheme with Josh Hoover, who's been incredible in the scheme. And they're just like, nah, forget about TCU. We're going to talk about Bill Belichick. Because he's Bill Belichick, where's the impartiality? Sonny Dykes has been a phenomenal coach in college football for many, many years. And it is disappointing and just disrespectful that ESPN's doing them dirty like that. Because TCU is a very good school. And, I'm not throwing flack in North Carolina either. They're a good school, but you got to treat them equal. They're not treating them equally, which is a big part of the problem in sports these days, in sports commentary and on radio and on stations, is that you'll see, like, I'm fine if you're getting paid to do that. So if I'm the reporter for the Miami Dolphins or whatever, great. I'm going to talk about the Dolphins all I want because that's what I'm getting paid to do. But otherwise, if you're getting paid as a general broadcaster, it is not your job to have an opinion about a team, unless you're on First Take, of course, unless you're on Pardon the Interruption. You can have an opinion all you want. But if you're doing a commentary on a game, you cannot be saying, oh yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders, those guys are amazing. The Chiefs, there's no way. They're going to lose by 28 points. That's not fair. You can't be doing that. You have to be even. You got to say, hey, I'm a Raiders fan. I'm sad. This is going to be a tough day for us. I think the Chiefs are probably going to come out on this one. by 7 points, probably a touchdown, but I think my Raiders are going to put on a tough fight. Like, that is perfectly okay with me. It's that level. Like, you can be partial, but not act partial towards either side. And that's kind of the vibe that needs to start happening more in sports. I have bored you all now. But that's always been an issue for me, is how slowly over time it's gotten worse and worse until at this point there's just nobody that's truly rooting for no one, which is what I've tried to do. I'm no secret. I'm from Florida. Whatever. I root for the Dolphins. I don't commentate Dolphins games. The reason I don't commentate Dolphins games is because I'm not going to be partial. I'm not going to aim to be partial. So I've done one Dolphins game as a preseason game. It was my very first commentary. And it was mostly, I was okay with it because it was a preseason game, for one. And the second thing was that I had a lot of technical difficulties, so it kind of kept my mind off the game. But like, if I were in a Dolphins regular season game and they're playing the Bills, they're down by 3, and they're all driving down the field, I'm not going to be like, Buffalo's defense has got to do this, this, and this to stop them. I'm going to be like, no, the Dolphins, come on! Like, it's ridiculous to think I'm going to do anything else. But cheer for my team. Like, I can do the Dolphins. I can be impartial for the Dolphins, but I would rather it be a really bad game that doesn't have so many implications. So I tend to avoid doing Dolphins games for that reason. And I feel like that's been lost sight of by a lot of commentators these days, is that they're like, Stephen A. Smith's fine. So I know that's probably the one that comes to your head first. Oh, he's a Knicks fan. He's an Eagles fan. He's always rooting for his teams. What about him? He's on First Take. First Take's a show about opinions. Same thing for Pardon the Interruption. It's a show about opinions. You're supposed to have opinions on that show. Commentary is different. You got to be impartial. Like, if you're the analyst, you're going to be giving the stats. You got to be telling them the interesting things about it. You got to be telling them what they want to know and what they should know and what they need to know. You do not need to tell them what you know, which is it doesn't sound right when I say it like that. But if you see it as like, you need to tell them what they need to know, what they want to know, and what they should know, but they don't need to know what you think, essentially, is kind of what I'm getting by. Like, they don't need to hear like, oh yeah, this guy's had an incredible season in general. Like, this guy's thrown for 200 yards. He's got an amazing quarterback rating. He's going to be fantastic this year. However, I think my Dolphins are going to absolutely destroy them. I think the pass rush is going to get home far too often. I think the Dolphins win by 21. Like, we don't need that. We don't need me going through the entire game being like just undermining a team. Like, that's no fun. Like, that's no fun for the opposing team. Like, there's no reason to do that. Like, we've lost that sense of impartiality in sports, and that's something we really need to gain back. And I think it's very valuable. Like, if you find someone that's truly impartial, like, again, like, I'm not throwing shade at anybody in particular, not at all, because there are people that do what I do that are like, they do the same thing, but like, they do specific sports. Like, they'll just be like, oh yeah, I do the Eagles. That's what I do. I do the Eagles, and I commentate all the Eagles game. Okay, people watch you because you like the Eagles. I don't want people to watch me because I like the Dolphins. I want people to watch me because I like sports. Like, I love sports. I love doing what I do. Like, I don't even care if people watch me, to be honest. But this is a fun thing for me. And it's really great that I'm able to share this with you, because it's not just, it's not just my team. It's everybody's team. Like, we're here to make everyone feel welcome. Like, sports is not a place where people should be clashing. It's a place where we should be agreeing. It should be a common ground. It's meant to bring people together, not split them apart. Just saying. All right. That was a long 10-minute rant. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. But like, my main point is saying, like, I'm not trying to offend the likes of Tom Grossi or Mike Perna for rooting for their Broncos and Packers, because people watch them in spite of that, either in spite of that or because they watch them because of that. So it's one or the other. They don't watch them because they're like, oh, these guys are amazingly impartial. Like, wow, these guys have no preferences at all. Meanwhile, Tom Grossi's got like a signed Packers helmet, jersey, whatever. But no, all the respect in the world to those guys. But I'm just saying, like, in the professional game, you got to be impartial, which I feel like is getting lost over the years. Back in Miami Gardens, I got a little sidetracked. We missed the entire halftime show. 15 minutes on the clock, 30 minutes left in the game. The Hurricanes got the ball with the chance to double down, like the eyes in Miami, with a chance to get up by 2 scores against Notre Dame, and that could be huge. At the rate that this Miami defense is playing so far, I've been incredibly thrilled with Corey Heatherman's performance as a defensive coordinator in this one. Ruben Bain's been disruptive. He's been incredible. So far, Miami's defense has been exactly what we needed them to be in this one, and Notre Dame's been pretty much the same. Honestly, Notre Dame's defense has been phenomenal. They've been great, as per usual. The times that Miami has driven down the field today have been the times when their offense has essentially looked unstoppable. When Carson Beck has not missed a pass, when their running game has just gone straight through every gap possible. They have no time on the play clock. I'm surprised they got delay a game there on the first play of the drive. Yeah, I'm like, they had no time. It's going to be delay a game against Miami. Not exactly the ideal start to the second half for the Hurricanes. That's one of the major issues with Mario Cristobal's era in Miami is clock management. It's been his biggest weakness. Like, he's a good coach. He can make some good calls, but it's been his big weakness. See Georgia Tech 2023. I pointed out it was miserable. It was awful. Go check it out. Not on YouTube. Go Google it. Carson Beck looks to throw. He'll step up in the pocket. He's going to run. He'll slide down. He'll probably get about 7. I think 7's probably about right. 6 or 7 there. Carson Beck, 3rd and 10. We see him here. He's under pressure. He flushes to his left. And Malachi Toney, he just does a really good job keeping his eyes down the field. He's been patient, and then he can drop that right in the breadbasket. He's got solid air on it. Then again, we see it, pressure coming off the edge. He scrambles, but he stays patient and makes the throw under pressure. A big part of his game so far has been the patience that he's shown under pressure. Hand off to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher powers forward to get a surprising 2 or 3 yards. He'll bring up about 3rd and 8, maybe 3rd and 9. All right, 14-7. So this could be a huge stop for Notre Dame, assuming they can get off the field here and keep Miami from totally doubling down on them. It's definitely ideal for Notre Dame here if they manage to be able to pick up a stop, because if they can, it's a whole different ballgame. Because if Miami gets the first down here, and then they get this drive going, Notre Dame's got some concerns, and they really got to stop. This is a crucial 3rd down here. From their own 27-yard line, Beck looks to throw. Pressure. He throws. He's got a wide open man and a Miami first down. And 1st and 10 for Miami. I'm telling you, God, that's just soft zone defense there. And the scheme is interesting. I would not have gone zone there. I mean, I understand it, but I would have gone heavier zone because you see the safety crawls over for help. The corner is just chilling. And the safety, he kind of just backs up so far. And he's just wide open. And the corner was nowhere to be found. That's just not great defense by Notre Dame. That's probably the biggest mistake I've seen from the Fighting Irish so far. 1st and 10 from the Miami 42-yard line. And this will be a play action, and it'll dump it down to Mark Fletcher. I lost the ball for a second there. Fletcher will get about 7 or 8. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I feel so allergic to everything right now. Like, my nose is really itching. Oh. Only certain countries. I'm not allergic to any Mediterranean countries, so let's go. Actually, that's not true. I'm allergic to Mediterranean cities. I'm not allergic. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I sneezed a lot in Madrid. Oh dear, and Rome as well. Here comes Beck. It's going to be another handoff to Fletcher, who just pounds his way forward. Another good run from Mark Fletcher Jr. to get to the Notre Dame 39. So far, Miami's been pounded in the run game. And honestly, I've been a little so far, Notre Dame's defense, like I keep hyping them up because they're a good defense. And the biggest hole so far was that play a few moments ago. And then otherwise, it's just been the inability to stop the run. You may be allergic to Europeans. It is quite possible. The thing is, and that's another really good run by Miami. My goodness, they are just running downhill, just boom. Like, they have not been stoppable so far in this one. And the Canes fans, they're still putting up the U all day long. Their hands must get tired. This will be allergic to Europeans. I wouldn't doubt it. The only thing is, I didn't sneeze in Copenhagen at all. I don't know what dictates it. I don't understand it. I just sneeze in like maybe 60% of European countries and not the countryside, which is so weird. But anyway, man in motion for Miami. It's a solid snap. Fletcher up the middle. He'll get another strong 4 yards. That's a first down. A little bit of tension over on the bottom of your screen there. A little bit of fist fighting happening. They'll split them up quickly, though. Things haven't gotten too chippy yet. Not as chippy as the infamous game that I've mentioned 7 or so times now. The Catholics versus the convicts. Yeah, that's it. I wasn't around, but good. It was fun to watch. I wasn't around. It's 80s stuff. In case you couldn't tell, not actually. I'm not 45. Got a man in motion for the second straight play. It's another handoff. And I'm telling you, Miami's just more than happy to keep handing this ball off. And that'll go for about 2 yards. Again, just a little bit of aftermath to this play here. Just a little bit of pushing and shoving after he was already down. 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Miami's putting together a very nice drive. I'm telling you, 21-7, different ball game. Like, things could go very badly for Notre Dame here if they cannot manage to get the stop. All right, 2nd and 8. Beck, he's under pressure. It's a screen pass, nowhere to go. Just absolutely stuffed. It'll be 3rd and 9. I hate screens. Okay, they weren't listening. They were not listening because earlier I went an entire spiel about how screens don't work. They don't work, but they still do them. There's a mouthpiece on the turf. Camera crew senses that that's especially important to show at this moment. It's orange. That's probably why. Carson Beck, it's at their own 26 at the Notre Dame 26-yard line, 25.5-yard line. Moreover, Beck drops back deep. He's looking deep. He'll throw underneath to his man. It's Malachi, and he's going to try and get out of bounds at about the 9 or 8-yard line. Again, that's Malachi Toney. This guy's got some serious speed. He's getting open on that underneath route. This reminds me so much of a Dolphins game. It's crazy because this is like original Dolphins play calling right there. That route is the Tyreek Hill route. Like, he just a quick cut back outside, show off that speed and the acceleration. Like, that is some good stuff from this Hurricanes offense. I'm liking what I'm seeing play calling wise. For the most part, not the screens. And this will be another handoff and another really solid run, 3 or 4 yards. Here's the deal. 4, you got 3 downs. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. It's getting you the first down. If you're allowing, 1 second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. If you're allowing 4 yards a run, they're getting the first down without having to throw the ball. Thank you. They're getting the first down without having to throw the ball. And that's right now what Miami's doing. 2nd and goal from the 6. Carson Beck, he'll hand the ball off again to Lyle. Lyle piercing his way. He gets the push. Is he in? He is so close. Is he in? Miami says it's a touchdown. Notre Dame's not signaling at all. Touchdown, Miami! 20-7. Marty Brown? Was it Marty Brown? Did I have been saying his name wrong the whole time? My bad. It's been Marty Brown. I'll go get my computer back. Give me a second. I forgot to go get it back because I went on a spiel at halftime. And I never retrieved it. All right, I'm back. It was Marty Brown, or the guy who had a really long name. That's name kind of sounded like Marty Brown. But yeah, just really good drive. I'm telling you, if you're Notre Dame, you're really disappointed with your run defense at the moment because you really got to be able to stop that. 4 yards a run is not what you need to be seeing. That's Charmar Brown. Apparently they call him Marty. That's actually going to save me a lot of breath because Charmar, like what? Sorry, no offense to him. Like that, names are a big part, but Charmar. 20-7. Miami may have just broken this game wide open. Not only did they double dip on Notre Dame, they took 7.5. They took almost half the third quarter. Like, that was an incredible drive. Notre Dame is in some deep and murky water right now. Extra point is right down the middle, 21-7. The Hurricanes are looking to run away with this one with 7:23 in the third quarter, up by 2 touchdowns. They scored their last 14 points without Notre Dame touching the football. A great run from Charmar Brown and Mark Fletcher Jr. They're doing it all. Let's take a look at some stats. Some stats of the day brought to you by the Fibonacci sequence, because that's the only other thing on this channel right now. There's going to be more, don't worry. Those are not the right stats. There we go. Brought to you by the Fibonacci sequence. All right, passing yards. See, the team, Notre Dame, has 54 passing yards with CJ Carr, compared to Miami and Carson Beck, 186. It's so crazy, the difference there. Rushing yards, Notre Dame has 61, Miami has 82. It's not good. It's not good. I'm just going to be brutally honest with you here. It's not looking good for Notre Dame. Not only are they struggling offensively, which isn't a total surprise to me, because I didn't expect them to have an amazing game. The key to the game really was just hand the ball off to Jeremiah Love, see what he can do. But Miami's done a wonderful job containing him so far, and he has not been able to get that going. He's not been able to get cooking, and that is really hurting them right now. And as for Miami, they've just been pounding in the ground game, and Notre Dame has done nothing to stop them. And it's just so unfortunate for the Fighting Irish, who came into this game with such high expectations for CJ Carr, and he's actually shown some really nice stuff. But defensively, they have definitely regressed this season. At least based on what I'm looking at here. I'm not jumping to any presumptions, but this is as tough as a game as it's going to get for the Fighting Irish. Let's take a look at their schedule for the rest of the year. They got Texas A&M next week, which isn't easy, but I feel like they should be able to pull off a win there, depending on the circumstance. Because Marcel Reed, honestly, not all that much. However, he's one of my favorite receivers in the game. This was one of his star receivers, Kevin Concepcion, or KC Concepcion, because he's cool like that now. And I think that's going to be actually kind of tough for Notre Dame. I think they're very evenly matched, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame managed to pick that one up. Purdue, I feel like they could be Purdue. Arkansas, it's worth noticing that they might be in trouble, because this one's not a good look. Because I will say, Miami's offense is good. Like they've put on a nice show, but they're not the best. Arkansas looked really good this week. There's really no way to tell so far for the Razorbacks, so I feel like they could get tripped up by the Razorbacks a little bit later on in their schedule. Boise State, knowing how Boise State played, it'll be easy. NC State, very similar. USC is another one that's like interesting, though, because they put on 73 points against whatever minor school they were playing earlier this week. And now they kind of have to ease back into the normal point scoring. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Then they close their season with Boston College, Navy. Navy might be interesting as well, but I feel like they can beat them. Pitt is tough. Eli Holstein's going to be interesting. Syracuse and Stanford are going to be. They got some interesting games here. That's like, this one's their toughest game. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. This one's going to be the best game Notre Dame plays this year. So this is kind of coming down to it, because this one has the implication of the loser, I doubt, is going to make the college football playoff. And if they do, it's going to be big. They're going to have to pretty much go undefeated, either team. Because Notre Dame, this is such a big moment for Notre Dame. I don't expect them to win. I didn't expect them to win, but I also didn't expect their defense to be playing this I guess is the correct word, because they haven't been playing Notre Dame kind of Notre Dame football. And that's kind of cost them a bit in this one. So it makes me wonder whether if they're able to win out the rest of the year and, maximum 2 losses, right? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes later in the year. Carr, it's going for another dump down. He's just got people in his face. He's got nothing to do but throw it away, really. He was really questioning. He's like, I do not want this guy to jump and take this to the house, which is a valid concern, so he threw it a little too far ahead. Guy didn't jump, but I think it was the correct precaution from CJ Carr. Just throwing that one away. Play call did not work. (21-7), 7:19 to play. In the third quarter, got a man in motion. Carr trying to draw him offside early. He'll take the snap. He'll look to pass, and that's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Phenomenal defensive line work by Miami. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10, I believe. Yeah, we'll bring up 3rd and 10. That was great. Great job batting the pass down. CJ Carr's just not really getting there for him. And all the U's are back up in Miami. That's so fun. Yeah, Miami's a fun university over home with the Hurricanes. And, such a cool university as well. Cool journalism program. CJ Carr throws over the middle and it's dropped. They just went with a really well-designed screen that might have actually worked, but instead it's 4th and 10. This is really, really bad for Notre Dame. Let me paint a picture for you. Notre Dame's going to punt. Miami gets the ball. They go down the field and score a touchdown. Game's over. Notre Dame just does not have the offensive firepower to come back down 21 points in a quarter. I don't think it's possible. But this is going to be a very interesting and crucial drive as well, because Notre Dame's just got to put on some points. Here's Malachi Toney, who's been wowing us all day on a kick return this time. He gets about to the 30-yard line. This is big for Notre Dame. They got to be able to stop him. Corey Heatherman, man. What a debut he's had. This has been a great game for him and his defense. I've been very impressed with Miami's defense. They've improved so vastly because, let me tell you, Miami's defense against this Notre Dame offense last year, Notre Dame's already scored 35 points. Miami's defense was bad. There was no doubt about it. That's why they lost 3 games and ended up missing the college football playoff. Let's take a look at Miami's upcoming schedule. They have Bethune-Cookman next week. They should make quick and easy work of them. They have USF. Hey, you never know. USF's got the upset potential. I don't think they will, but USF has a rivalry, so you never know. I don't think they will. Florida. I'm not a DJ Lagway fan. I think Miami's going to clean up work there, same as last year. FSU. They might lose that, honestly. That's one of the games that I feel like they can lose because they do lose that game. Miami loses to their biggest rivals more often than anyone else. I feel like they can beat Louisville, though. Miller Moss, he's good. I don't know if he's good enough to beat Miami. Beat Stanford. SMU is fascinating. I think that's a fascinating game for a couple reasons. I think we'll see how the season plays out, but I think that one could be a toss-up. We're going to lose to Syracuse because that is how Miami works. I don't think Miami's beaten Syracuse in like a decade. We're going to beat NC State, Virginia Tech. We should beat Pitt as well. So really, there's a few tough games on Miami's schedule. All in all, I'm not sure that I think Notre Dame might actually have the tougher schedule. And I only think they had the tougher schedule is because they have kind of a mix of teams. Like Texas, they have like SEC in there. They have Texas A&M and Arkansas, which are going to put on a show. They got Big Ten as well. They got USC and Purdue, which are kind of lesser teams in the Big Ten, but those are still Big Ten teams. Then they got more ACC teams than anything else. They got Boston College, Stanford, Syracuse, Pitt, and then of course this one against Miami, and then NC State as well. It's just not an easy schedule. Because you look at it and you're like, okay, maybe they got a chance of losing a solid 3 games in addition to this, depending on how their defense steps up. I think the big game for Notre Dame, I really got two marked on my calendar for Notre Dame this year. And the first one is next week, is that Texas A&M game. Because if they flop against Texas A&M and they come out flat and they lose that game, it's over. That's the end of the season for Notre Dame. Then again later against Arkansas, I think that could be really fun. By the way, there was an illegal block in the back penalty on the kickoff. They called it a little late. Yeah, they called it late. So that's what they're calling over there. Illegal block in the back. It's going to back Miami up 15 yards. The game against Arkansas, I think, is going to be very interesting. There's a lot of unknown variables about Arkansas this year. Very similar for Notre Dame. So I think that could be a fascinating game. Those are the two games that I kind of have circled on my map, and they come in week 4. So Notre Dame had like 3 games that I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And they're all in week 4. So CJ Carr's kind of got to get into a rhythm fairly soon. Here's Carson Beck and the Miami offense. And he's going to hand this one off to Monty. Oh, he's still on his feet. He's like a bowling ball. And he gets slammed outside, but he bounced around for a little bit there. And a solid run by our good friend, whose name I continue to forget. Marty Brown. It's Charmar. I can remember Charmar. Yeah. And this will be a screen pass, which gets like 3 or 4 yards. Again, I don't like screen passes. I'm just not a fan. Excuse me. 3rd down for Miami. 6:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. Miami has dominated the time of possession, which I feel like I knew. I just didn't know the number. Had 25 minutes of the ball. Which is, at this point, 5 more minutes, they'll have double the amount of time that Notre Dame has had possession in this one. They've just been dominant. Oh, and he slips and falls. That's just catastrophic. So Miami, they'll be forced to punt. There's an injured O-lineman for Miami. Bell. Give him a call out right now as soon as I get you his name here. But that's not what you want to see again in week 1. It's Markel Bell, senior. He was born in Cleveland, Mississippi. So it'll bring 4th down after he just trips and falls. It's that wet terrain in Miami. It's been raining off and on all day. And it's just, I think the field's finally starting to get a little slippery. Yeah, he just slips and he rolls up on the offensive lineman's ankle as well. Yeah, it's like a lineman's worst nightmare because it's something they're always kind of worried about is getting rolled up on. And it doesn't sound serious, but when there's someone's full body weight pressing against like your like lower your like your Achilles and you're getting bent backwards, that's painful. And that takes a lot of offensive linemen out, NFL and college. So Miami decided not to go for it, and a booming punt. Whew. And that one's going to be, oh, wow. Took a favorable bounce at the end, 36-yard line for Notre Dame when we come back. Have I ever been there? Nope. Maybe. Looking at the places in Miami, being like, have I ever been there? I saw one earlier. And I was like, I've been there. I ate there once. Food wasn't awful. It was okay. It was amazing. It was pretty good. They had I'm trying to remember what they had. They had a lot of tapas. I think that was it though. I think that was like a tapas bar. 21-7. Miami has the lead. 5:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. So Notre Dame starting on their own 36-yard line. That was a huge stop for Notre Dame in general. I think they need to be happy about that. Again, they lucked out. But you get what you get. You got to take it. Take the opportunity. It's like the 3rd time this game that Notre Dame has gotten incredibly lucky, and it has saved multiple things. So they had that huge 3rd down conversion that would have kept Miami's drive going earlier. They could have ultimately had a touchdown at the end of that one. Then they had a field goal though with a mishap that was could be 31. And then with that one, if he had not slipped, they'd have gone all the way. This game could be 38-7. It's just they're getting lucky with those, which isn't, that's a good thing, but you cannot rely on luck. If you're Notre Dame, that's not something you want to rely on as a team. cup's broken. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it. Sorry, that was loud. Probably duct tape, honestly. Like the lid no longer locks in place when you flip it back. So now if you take a drink, you get smacked in the head by the metal thing because this cup is deadly. It's made of metal. Yeah, I carry it around everywhere just in case, anyone wants to try anything. I just, not hurt though. Like it's metal, like it's tough. It attacks you. Yeah. Yeah, like it does that in multiple ways. Like the water in the face is one thing, and the metal lid is another. It's not a great cup. No, it's a great cup. I love it though. It's a really nice cup. It's not even that old actually. It's just breaking. And the other thing, it's got the metal piece that holds it in place, that keeps it from snapping at you. Actually, is like detached from it. It's no longer sticking, and occasionally I'll flip it back and it'll kind of go with it a little. So that when I take a sip, I'll actually get stabbed in the nose by the little pointy metal like line that keeps it in place. Hurts quite a bit. So yeah, that cup really, really does attack me. All right. Let's talk other games. I didn't go through all of them because I was running out of games. But I got more. Yeah, I mean, we got an entire quarter and a half. So I will continue to do those as we go along. And then at some point, probably towards the end. Wow, yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, as we go along, I'll go through, and then probably at the very end, I'll tell you what my official picks were for this week because I never said them, and we'll see how I did because I actually don't know. I haven't counted. I wrote them down, and I haven't counted to see how I did. I think I did decently. Man in motion. It's CJ Carr at his own 36-yard line. He'll go with another screen, and it doesn't work. Surprise. Well, 5 yards. That's still a surprise. He got 5 yards. Screenplays aren't good for big plays. They work occasionally. Occasionally, you'll get a touchdown. Like if you do it enough times. That's the same with anything. If you write your name enough times, eventually it's going to look perfect. It's kind of that. It's kind of that idea. CJ Carr he throws another short pass to his tight end, and he'll get the first down, a gain of about 7. That's another really solid play. This tight end, he's been a target for him pretty much all day today. Oh no, I'm back at 10%. It just did not charge much, and it froze. Okay. And Carr rolls out. He's going to give it to the tight end again, but it's dropped. Yeah, it's just not what you want to see. That's Eli Raridon. And Eli Raridon has been the one who's been his go-to guy so far, but he has not been making all the catches he needs to make so far. And that's really, he's really been struggling with that. All right. All right. 4:14 to play here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. I'm doing math in my head about how fast Notre Dame needs to do this. And this is going to be another quarterback draw. It's the first successful one of the day. CJ Carr goes up the middle for 14 yards. A solid run for CJ Carr. He was moving like a car on that one. Vroom! And you see the spy. He was cracking Jeremiah Love. Love slips out. Linebacker goes after him, and it just leaves a huge gap there. Really well-designed play there. And it looks like... Nope, they're just changing the play call, calling an audible real quick. Was wondering if they were going to call a timeout there. CJ Carr, Miami showing blitz. They rush 5. And Carr is going to unload. A deep pass. What a catch! First down, Notre Dame. And that's the second incredible catch of the day. How about it? And the Fighting Irish, they're fighting all right. What a grab. I mean, 2 hands on the ball, but that was still just a remarkable snag. I mean, having to come down with that one, that is not an easy catch to make. It's just the skill of a lot of these guys is incredible. Now we're going to see a timeout. Oh, no, it's a review. They're trying to see if he actually came down with that. That was Malachi Fields, by the way, the wide receiver who we hyped up a bit at the beginning. They're going to see if he actually caught it. which right there, he does not. He does not. He does not. Yeah, he got under it. He got under it. That is a catch. Because the thing is, if that had touched the ground, that would have been an incompletion because he really did not ever have possession. But he does get it at the end there. Never touches the ground. Let's complete a pass. Be honest, this couch, it's not helping my back as much as I thought it was. Like the other one, the chair's not bad, but like I can also like stand up more because this one I don't have the standing desk either. So I'm kind of just stuck here. Yeah, that was definitely a catch. Man, yeah, I got back problems. Corey Edelman no longer as hyped up, but he's had some great defensive play calls, and he's been fiery on the sideline, so I appreciate that. 1st and 10, 3 minutes to go. In the third quarter, 18 total. Hand off Jeremiah Love. Love turning on the Jets. The 10. He hurdles him in. Incredible hurdle. He doesn't get in the end zone, but that is what we needed to see. That is what needed to be happening from the first minute of the game. And it's going to get called back. Shooting themselves in the foot here. Ridiculous. That's just not okay. You just took away your best running play of the day, and I'm even considering the 30-yard one. He just gets the outside. I knew it was going to be good as soon as he pops outside. Let's see it. Yeah, he did it. That's just such a shame, too. That was such a cool hurdle as well. So entertaining, and he managed to. It's just a good run. And now instead of gaining 20 yards or 15 yards, now they're losing 5 or 10. Yeah, losing 10 yards. 1st and 20 from the Miami 24-yard line. That is just shooting yourself in the foot. Pressure from Bain, and he far overthrows his man. What? And they call. Sorry, my bad. There's going to be a pass interference call on Miami. I didn't see it. I'm so impartial, guys. Yeah. Pass interference. I didn't see it too much. I want to see this again. Because I really did not see that. It was on Poiser. Let's see it. Maybe a little. Yeah, okay. He kind of got his arms around his waist, which does traditionally count as a pass interference call. So they basically just got all the yards they lost on the holding penalty back. It's back to 1st and 10 from their own 13 now. From the Miami 13, sorry. And that'll be a run to I think that's Love still. And that'll go for maybe 2 yards. 2nd down. 2:13 to play here in the third quarter. Miami leads by 14. Notre Dame is in the red area. Sea of orange out there. Just for reference, those chairs are not orange. They're teal. They're Dolphins colored. The fact that you cannot see them in the sea of orange is incredible. Got a little bit of green over there as well for the Fighting Irish fans. The 11-yard line, handoff Love. Love gets the edge. Oh, and he gets hit in the air. He tried to hurdle another guy. That was a clash of two titans there as he tried to jump so high, but it gets hit in midair. Good job by the Miami defender. He was a little bit shaken up after that one. He's going to head to the sideline. Understandable. He pretty much got kicked in the head. But good job by him making the tackle while he's in midair. 3rd and 5. All the Miami fans on their feet again for this one, this crucial 3rd down. They're 3 of 7 on 3rd down tonight, Notre Dame. And they've been on average. This is about their average gain. So they haven't had a whole lot of success on 3rd down. That's something they need to remedy if they're going to be able to beat Texas A&M next year. And the refs here. Why? I don't know why. I have no idea what just happened. And the clock runs out. Okay. 3rd and 5. 1:11 to play. He'll go another quarterback draw. Oh, wow, what a hit. And I thought he was in the end zone, but a big hit. A big hit there from the Miami defenders of the Notre Dame. They're like, let's go. First down. It's a friendly Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan. Certainly fighting. They've had some nice changing of the scheme here. They've kind of gotten a little more dynamic with their play callings. They've got 4 passes and 4 rushes. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. This is a big time play for Notre Dame. Hand off to Jeremiah Love. And Love is not quite there. We got a missing helmet for a Hurricanes player, and he's pushed way back. Credit to the Hurricanes player for keeping going. There's multiple flags. Maybe for a little bit extra. I don't know. The refs are having a fun time. Just like, ooh, I like yellow. They're really throwing those flags now. We've had like about 5 penalties in the last few minutes there. I want to see what this one is because I also have no idea. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They just called a unnecessary roughness penalty on Miami. Where? I do not know. I mean, I don't have sound on, so I couldn't hear the whistle. So it might have been a really late throwdown there. But it's just, I don't know. Yeah, that was iffy. I didn't see a whole lot extra. I'm not a huge fan of the call. So far, these refs have been just a little off the mark in this late third quarter. 1st and goal, 25 seconds. They do have to run one more play before the end of the third quarter. Hopefully to cash it in. They're at the inch-yard line. Should be really easy for them. I expect just for them to hand it off to Love. And they will, but he won't get there. What a defensive stand by Miami, saying if you want points, you're going to have to take us to the fourth quarter. And take them to the fourth quarter, they will. Fourth quarter, coming up next. Miami 21, Notre Dame 7. But don't worry, the Fighting Irish are fighting back. They're at the 1-yard line. When we come back, after this 30-second break, well, probably more like a minute and a half. All right, good quarter. Miami scoring the touchdown. They took so much time off the clock there. Notre Dame's big stop on 3rd and 1, taking off the slip. Then a couple of questionable penalties at the end there. Got Notre Dame down to the 1-yard line. It's pretty good, pretty good. All right. Let's go recap some more games. We're going to do it. Fourth quarter is going to be fun. Sorry. My stuff's bugging out a bit. It's been awake for too long. Like me. Here we go. So we had a game between Oklahoma and Illinois, or in Illinois State Redbirds. And honestly, this is another one. John Mateer had a Heisman-worthy game, and everyone was praising John Mateer for having an incredible game. He was almost perfect. But the problem with this one, to me, 35-3. Illinois State Redbirds. Like, I don't care how good the Redbirds are in the FCS. You're Oklahoma. You got to be able to beat them by a little bit more than that. So to me, this one was an okay game. I think he definitely played very well. I think John Mateer was very good. However, I don't think that this is something worth being overly excited about. I don't think it's worth a Heisman Trophy. Like, I'm not willing to call that yet, especially not because they only won by 32. Then we look over next game. We have the Long Island University Sharks against the Florida Gators. The Gators won 55-0. That is pretty much what I expected. And honestly, I don't care. Like I'm not on the Florida hype train too much this year, but I'm not on it. I think they're going to be just okay. You know, what's his face didn't even play. Sorry, DJ Lagway. Yeah, he played a little bit. He wasn't even their leading passer, and he threw 3 touchdowns, but he wasn't a leading passer at the end of the game. So I'm not going to get overly hyped out about any of that. We saw the team that Notre Dame is playing next week. Texas A&M. They won 42-24 against UTSA. Very similar feeling between them as I had with Kansas State and other teams. They won 42-24 against UTSA. That's okay. It's just okay. Like, I mean, sure, they did okay, but UTSA is not that good. The only upside that I saw really was Casey Concepcion in that game, and he was really good. Then we saw another game, very similar, Michigan, New Mexico. Michigan won 34-17. It's not a big deal. I feel like people are overreacting already. Like it's not a whole thing. Bryce Underwood looked good. Like, I'll give him that. He looked very good. But again, New Mexico. It's not a good team. Like people are overreacting over week 1 because they're teams that were absolutely pummeling bad teams, and then there are other teams who are winning, but they're not doing great. This one, again, they only won by 17. This wasn't magnificent. Then we have another game, Arizona State against Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. They won that one 38-19, and without Cam Scatterbo, they kind of lost a bit of that dual threat. They didn't really have that going for them. So I feel like that they kind of lacked that. Man, my nose is crazy. It's so itchy. I'm allergic to everything. They're really just struggled to get the run game going, I feel. Sam Leavitt kind of had to carry a bit. He had himself a game, though. I'll give him that. 73 rush yards, 257 pass yards, and a total of 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, he was doing his work all on his own, and he was really the main guy that helped Arizona State beat Northern Arizona. And then on our next break, we'll get to the blowout games, SMU, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, and as well, we'll throw in Oregon as well. And then last but not least, LSU and Clemson. At the 1-yard line, CJ Carr takes the snap. He's burst open, and it's an easy touchdown. Touchdown, Notre Dame. It's a 1-score game again. That was terrifying because the Hurricanes broke through really fast there. They came stretching through the line at really good speed, and that was really good awareness by CJ Carr delivering the touchdown there. Really great job by Carr being aware of his surroundings and making the throw he needed to make. That was just really good. Really solid play there. And so far, Carr has been okay. Like, I've seen a lot of good stuff out of him, a lot to be happy about. A lot to be mad about as well, but a lot to be happy about if you're Notre Dame, because they've just taken this one back within a score, and the extra point is up, and it is good. We got a 7-point game in Miami Gardens. It's going to be tight, folks. Stay in your seats. Don't change this. He actually bumped into his own teammate, almost got the ball swatted. Literally everything went wrong on that play, but CJ Carr managed to salvage it with an incredible throw, sidearming it around a Hurricane defender to get the touchdown to Jordan Fison. So really good play. So honestly, there's been a lot of good from CJ Carr, but the good does come with the bad because he's had a few mistakes in this one. They haven't really let him out of his comfort zone too much. They really did in that last drive more than anyone else, and he really looked good. So it's just the drives that they've kind of let him let his hair loose a little bit. Figuratively, he doesn't have much hair, literally. But anyway, but like when they let him do that, he's able to deliver on those passes, and he's able to do that. And I feel like that's kind of become the key to Notre Dame being able to come back to win this game. So now Carson Beck's about to get the ball back. This might be a kickoff out of bounds. Nope, it's going to hit the end zone for a touchback. So out comes Carson Beck. And the Miami offense only up by 7 now. And they have 43 minutes left. I don't know the story about this. You might want to unmute your TV just for a second, because this is a tattoo from CJ Carr honoring his brother Chad. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know the story. I wish I do. I'll probably Google it after. But definitely, you should probably unmute it with that. It's over now, though. Google it. Like I will. All right. 21-14. 14:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Play clock winding down already. This could be the second delay game penalty. And no, they'll get it off. They're going to hand it off. It's a solid run for Mark Fletcher, another 5 yards. Fletcher's had a solid game. Miami's run game has been incredibly solid. There's a lot to be happy about if you're Miami. And I know I've said that about both teams, but the thing is, the games like this, the games when there's good offenses and good defenses, they operate like NFL games. This one's operating like an NFL game. You're getting your starters, your backups, and they're all playing very well. And wow, Beck just very badly overthrew Tony on that one that he's been connecting with for a while. He just overthrew. Yeah, that was just not a good throw. There's a flag. Another flag. All right, let's see. Holding on Miami. I will say, I'm not like, this isn't me being impartial or partial or anything, but the refs have called the last 5 penalties on the Hurricanes. That one was a very light holding as well, as was the pass interference, as was the unnecessary roughness. So I'm kind of not thrilled with the officiating so far in this one. In just the last 10 minutes, the officiating has been awful. But anyway, 2nd and 14 for Miami. They got to throw deep. He's going to go underneath to Malachi Tony, and that'll go for about half of what they need to get. Expect 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, maybe 3rd and 8. Hard to tell for certain. It's going to be 3rd and 7. I was right the first time. 13:50 until the conclusion of this game. Honestly, for Miami, you want to get this first down. You want to take your time. Take your time. Build it up nice and slowly. You don't have to rush anything. You're winning. But you don't want to give Notre Dame the ball back. So you're going to want to try and get the first down here, no matter the cost. And he's alone in the backfield. Notre Dame rushes 4, and the play is called dead. Timeout Miami? Looks like it. Timeout Miami. So they were breaching that delay game again. And Miami's had a bit of trouble getting the playoff as this game has gone on. Since halftime, really. They've had trouble getting the playoff, and it's kind of affected the speed of the game. All right. Headset's coming off. Oh, my ears hurt. All right, here we go. Last few games, and then I'll give my all in all my record for the total picks for the week on how I did. It'll be fun. I actually am excited for it. I don't know how I did, but I have them all written down in Yahoo Sports. Oregon against Montana State. This was the first big blowout. We saw Dante Moore absolutely go nuts. I'm only doing top 25 for this one, but for my picks, I did all FBS because I'm determined to hurt myself. No, I'm kidding. Dante Moore, he had a great game. 213 passing yards. He went 18 of 23 for 3 touchdowns, 59 points. I mean, Dante Moore had the game that he was supposed to have as a freshman at UCLA, and he's kind of come to Oregon, and it kind of feels like he's got a bit of that back. Like he feels like he's got some of that young energy, and it really showed against Montana State. We got another blowout elsewhere where we had Texas Tech win by 60 points against Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. As Texas Tech won that one 67-7. We were excited to see the new look Red Raiders, and Baron Morton brought all the heat. He threw for 201 yards. He only threw 2 incompletions the entire game and had 4 passing touchdowns. And he wasn't the only one, because in total, Texas Tech finished 25 of 30 for 314 yards and 6 touchdowns. Needless to say, they went off. Like, they had a great game. Another blowout. Ole Miss taking on Georgia State Panthers. Ole Miss won this one 63-7. They had the new look quarterback who's from Miami. His name's Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons went 20 of 31 for 341 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Obviously, the interceptions were an issue for him, but the 3 touchdowns, and the 341 yards is insane. Also had an amazing day on the running game with Kayron Lacey, who had 3 touchdowns as well for Ole Miss. That was huge for them. I'm looking down over here, which is why I'm a little off center. And then the last game, they had SMU against East Texas A&M Lions. This was the last blowout I got, last one. Then I'm going to give you my picks results for the week at the next commercial, most likely. And so we saw Kevin Jennings play only a little, only played a lot, 22 of 30 for 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And the interception's a big issue for SMU, all in all, but overall, it's not anything to be too unhappy about. Then the last one, LSU beat Clemson. Told you, there's only one Death Valley. Like, come on. It was always going to be LSU. I've always considered them the true Death Valley anyway. So I knew it was coming. I picked LSU 17-10. Go LSU. And everyone in LSU calls it LSU. All right, we're back in Miami, 2nd and 7. 13:27 to go. Carson Beck. He's all alone. He's got to get 7 yards to keep it alive. Beck looks to throw. Pressure coming. He's sacked for the first time today. The first sack of the game for either side comes at a crucial moment for Notre Dame. Big time play in a big time moment gets Miami off the field. We got ourselves a ball game, folks. 21-14. Miami's got the lead, but for how long? What ended up happening is Notre Dame just kind of closed it in. The offensive line actually did a perfectly fine job. They just kind of, everyone had their guy, and they were all getting progressively closer until he just got squished in the middle there. He had nowhere to run. That was an easy sack for Notre Dame, perfectly executed. A booming punt. This will be fair caught at the 35-yard line. And Notre Dame will begin their drive. They got plenty of time now. Notre Dame has a chance to win this game. It's coming really down to the wire here. Honestly, I've not been too thrilled with these last couple of offensive drives for Miami. The penalties have been crazy. And CJ Carr is finally starting to get into a rhythm. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, the game they're playing. CJ Carr tonight, he's 12 of 20 for 92 yards, and he's got 2 touchdowns, both of which were outside the pocket on scrambles. And I mean, I think this guy's an improviser. And so far, I've seen that. He reminds me a lot of kind of the athleticism, the kind of improvisational skills that Cam Ward had in Miami last year. He has that same kind of, he doesn't have the same aura as Cam Ward, but he's got the same skills. And Jeremiah Love makes a good run over the middle for about 7 or 8 yards, spinning his way forward. 2nd and 3 or 4. Maybe 2nd and 2. We'll see. There's 12 and a half minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. So no matter what, I feel as if Notre Dame's going to have to give Miami back the ball, which is dangerous. I know this game goes into overtime. Ugh, all right. I'm never getting sleep. Anyway, 2nd and 2. Just over 12 minutes to play. Notre Dame has been moving well. They've been doing exactly what I said since the third quarter. Play action. Screen! It's tipped! It's intercepted! Miami, what a play! Oh my goodness! It's never been more clutch. A triple tip interception. Ruben Bain Jr. And Marcus Freeman has nothing to say. Bring out the turnover chain. I couldn't help myself. Wow. It was a screen. Screens never work. Screens never work. It gets tipped into the air twice. And Ruben Bain Jr. is the one who plucks it out of the sky. I mean, what a blown up screen. Incredible. 1, 2, 3. Right into Bain's hands. Remarkable. We have seen highlight after highlight today. This has been a great game. This has been a great game. Wow. I'm going to wake people up. I have been loud today. It's the turnover chain, maybe. I can't believe they got rid of the turnover chain. They need to bring it back. Especially if our defense starts playing like this. Run by Fletcher. Fletcher is going to get 5 yards. He pounds his way forward. That was such a crucial interception for Ruben Bain And the Miami CJ Carr is just like, So turnover margin for Notre Dame last season, they were positive 18. Tonight, they're -2. This Miami defense has come in so clutch so far today. It's been incredible. They've had some of the biggest moments. And we're saying Notre Dame's had some nice moments as well. They both played very well, but that was just a tilting moment for this one. The momentum's totally shifted. The fans are back into it. I'm back into it. And I mean, that's just they're just running the ball. They're just running the clock out. Hey, third and 2, 3rd and 3. They'll take it. They're in field goal range. It feels like regardless at this point, Notre Dame's going to need 2 scores now. This is just such an unfortunate scenario for Notre Dame. That interception was just ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that. A triple tip interception on a screen. Screens don't work. Screens don't work. Like, they really should watch me more. I'm just saying. Hashtag Notre Dame. Screens don't work. And Marcus Freeman's he's not having a great time over there on the sideline because I think he knows that they got 10 minutes to now score probably twice. Because, wow, that was such a crucial moment for Miami. Handoff, 3rd and 3, he'll get maybe a yard. So Miami's going to have to settle for a field goal. Most likely. Yeah, they're going to say settle for the field goal. Smart move, honestly. They just got to take the 3. CJ Carr is trying to calm himself down a bit. See him exhaling there. He's got to settle down, settle in. It's a one-off mistake. Honestly, I can't believe that happened. It was crazy. Like, there's nothing they can do about it. That's one of the most crushing things for a young guy like Carr, is that you know that you did this wrong. Like, you messed this up. You threw the interception, but you had nothing to do with it. And it's hard for anyone to come to terms with the fact that something that was their control didn't have anything to do with it. And the field goal is right down the middle, 24-14. It's a 2-possession game. Incredible timing. We need the turnover chain. Mr. Cool over there with the U. It's all about the U, baby. Come on. And that was incredible. Wow, what an interception, too. Miami's just running away with this football game. And it looks like the Canes are looking to seal the deal. It's a 2-possession game with only 10 minutes to play. We'll see. We will see. All right. I promised. It must be received. We got the picks. How'd I do? Going the entire FBS. I may not go in order, so I will count it. I'll count it. I'm not going to go game by game. That's going to take forever. Or, if it even starts working. It's late for everything, including technology. Technology stops working past, I don't know, 8. Feels like never. When does technology start working is what I'm asking. All right, let's see. 3, 4. Okay, so I got off to a really good start, though. Okay. No, 11-1, whatever. Whatever. Okay, I'm actually fairly surprised. Oh, that's terrible. Ooh, sorry, my bad. This is crazy. I'm actually doing so well. 22-2 right now. 23-2. 24-2. 25-2. 26-2. 26-3. 27-3. 28-3. I picked the upset. Why did I pick the upset? That's one of those frustrating ones. All right, 28-4. All right. 28-5. 29-5. 30-5. 31-5. 31-6. 31-7. That was crazy. 32-7. 33-7. Very solid. 35-7. 36-7. 37-7. I'm doing so well. What? I didn't pick that one. Oh well. I didn't pick that one either. 38-7. 39 and 7, 30. 40 and 7. Okay, I was just making sure. I'm like, no way I picked UT Martin. 40 and 7 there. Why did I pick the upset there? 40 and 8. 41 and 8. Sorry, I keep doing that. 42 and 8. Why am I doing this to myself? 42 and 9. 43 and 9. 44 and 9. 44 and 10. What am I doing? What am I doing? I really should have just done FBS. You know what? I got a winning record. I don't have time for this. Or the patience mostly. Like there's like over 100 college football games a week. I should just do it. I should just do top 25 next time. I can do this on the next one. I'll just show my top 25 picks and I'll actually go through them. All right, 9:42 to play. 1st and 10. CJ Carr, he's trying to get his head back in the game here, and they gotta get going really. It's just unfortunate so far. What's been going on? I mean, that interception was just unfortunate. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just so rough to, as a young quarterback, to be able to get over that, to kind of get over the fact that that was a mistake that happened that may have cost you the game. And now you got to kind of get over it really quickly. And he'll take the snap and shotgun. He's under pressure. We'll go with the screen again. It's a nice little pitch over to Jeremiah Love. It takes a shot on the sideline. That was targeting. Is he down? I think he's injured. Oh, no, he's good. I'm shocked. He took a beating on that one. Like, I thought that was targeting for sure. Like, he got drilled at the end of that one. 2nd and 5. All right, he'll take the snap. Carr looks. He'll take another short one over to Jeremiah Love. Love tries to make a nice move. He'll get about 6-7 yards. 1st down. 9 minutes to play. They're going really fast here, and they need to go really fast as well. This is something that's super necessary for them. They have to pick up the pace here. 8:50 to play. 1st and 10. From their own 37-yard line. CJ Carr looks to throw. He hits the sideline. Another short little pass over the tight end who's trying to make a man miss. He loses his mouthpiece, but he'll get 9 yards. 9 yards there. All right. They're moving. They're moving the ball. CJ Carr seemingly gotten over himself. Congratulations for that. I mean, he's shown some. And there's an injured player. Suspicious. Corey Heatherman's calling his team back, but he did go down. There's a new rule in college football where if a player goes down after the play clock begins, then it's called a timeout. You get charged a timeout because they're saying that it's not a real injury. So they recommend if you're hurt, just stay down during the play. That's what he did there. So it's a little weird timing considering the pace was getting picked up there for Notre Dame. They're doing nicely though. They need 10 points. They only have so much time. Got about 8.5 minutes. We'll see if it is doable, this comeback. Just what an insane interception. Just turned it all around very quickly. We thought for 1 minute Notre Dame was driving down the field, about to tie the game on us. The next, just catastrophe for Notre Dame. Just absolutely crazy. The new Heisman House commercials. I've been looking forward to this. Can't believe they shut it down. That's my fault. It's a tow truck in the kitchen. I can't tell you what kind of commercial it is, but you should know it if you've ever watched college football, ever. I'm also looking forward to Fansville Season 8. So excited for that. All right, I'm going to say this one because I don't think this is going to be good. It's a movie. We talked about movies. We talk about movies all the time. Tron Ares. Not sponsored by Disney or anything, but Tron Ares. It's not going to be good, right? Am I the only one who thinks it's going to be really bad? Am I the only one who actually didn't like Tron that much, either of them? They were okay. I just didn't think they were that good. Like, I don't know how they made enough money to make a sequel. I didn't like the original Tron. Like, I'll watch Tron Ares just because I watched the first one, but Tron wasn't that good. I'm really surprised they had enough money to make another one, especially this far afterwards. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that good. Just throwing it out there. Bold take. It's your hot take of the day. Hot take of the day. Everyone's gone. All right. All right. Only got a limited amount of time here for Notre Dame to make their comeback. We're waiting on the injury to the Miami player. Defense last season for Miami, they were 9-0 in their first 9 games. They were 1-3 in their last 4. So that really was the big part about this Miami defense. And now under Corey Heatherman, they're trying to turn things around. And so far, it's looking good. They've looked much better than they did last year, with the exception being Florida, because they looked really good against Florida. Wide open receiver, way down the field. He was at the 36-yard line. He spun out about the 35. He was just wide open. That is just unacceptable defense by Miami. As I was praising them too, like, come on. That's not cool. That's an easy completion for the Fighting Irish. That's crazy. So it's been a crazy kickoff week, all in all. Winner of this one, big game. This is a tough game. This is probably the toughest game on both teams' schedules. Just throwing it out there. I think it's probably true. CJ Carr looks to throw. He's under pressure. He'll roll out. He'll take the run. He gets popped. Oh, no, that's not what you want from your starting quarterback. That's just so dangerous. Like, every part inside of me is like, get down! You know, I'm like, Tua. He's traumatized me. Yeah, he got nailed after that one. Ouch. It's just a tough angle, too. Like, that was painful. Credit to him for just popping back up. One of those punching bags. 2nd and 3 from the Miami 27. Handoff Jeremiah Love. Love makes a nice cut. He'll get the first down a little bit more. First down, Notre Dame. They're moving the sticks right now. It's 6. They got 6.5 right now. Really, pretty much the key is kind of they can keep it up. They're doing well. They're making the plays they have to make on offense. The key is then, what do? Do you kick the onside kick, see what happens? Then what? You got to stop Carson back. That's kind of the big one. If you're Miami, you're going for, I'd go for it on 4th down. Even if you have to. And pressure coming. Pressure. He's going to just throw it out of bounds. Intentional grounding. What? Okay. These refs, where are they from? Michael Irvin's upset as well. There it is. Thank you. What on earth? Intentional grounding. That took way too long. My goodness. These refs are awful. They're from Indiana or something. Because my goodness, that took way too long. I mean, he literally launched it. He was throwing to Michael Irvin. Like, what? Like, that should have been a sack. He deserves that intentional grounding penalty. Because I'm sorry if you think he was out of the pocket. He was not. There was no one in town. He was not out of the pocket. That is a correct call. And it is sad that they took that long to make that decision. All right. Backed him up a few yards. 2nd and 21. He's looking. He's surveying over the middle, and it's incomplete. A high throw. There is a flag again. Let me guess. It's on Miami. Sorry. No, I'm so impartial, y'all. Let's see it here. Sorry.
Like if someone up front, Notre Dame, kind of pulled himself back. It looked like it was the left guard, Billy Shroud.
Dude, these guys are crazy. I want to see it. These guys are crazy. They're hesitant to call anything on Notre Dame, but Miami does the slightest thing. This is like they were so quiet the first half. I was so happy with them letting them play. Then suddenly, late in the third quarter, they started going ballistic on the Hurricanes, and I have no idea why. They just went crazy on them. Makes no sense. 3rd and 21. This is a big-time play. Miami needs to stop here. They're all backed up. Honestly, and a big-time blitz coming at him. Jeremiah Love in the open field. Can he be tackled? He's gone airborne. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, took a hit in midair. Ouch. And it will be 4th and 10. They kick the field goal. Send the kicking unit out there. It's the right thing to do in this situation. Make it a 7-point game. It's the correct thing to do. I think this is the right decision. Kicking the field goal here. Smart move by Marcus Freeman. It's coming down to the wire. Noah Burnett. He's a UNC transfer, University of North Carolina. He's 12 of 18 from this range. 39-yard attempt should be a chip shot. Unless Miami blocks it. And the kick's drilled right down the middle. It's 24-17. 5:32 to go. Down by a touchdown. They have all 3 timeouts. So you're saying there's a chance. Hey, there's a chance, all right. There's definitely a chance. Look at these college football rankings. Penn State won. Ohio State won. They'll probably stay at the top. Georgia as well. Oregon should be higher, way higher. LSU as well. They deserve those. Alabama, get out of the top 25. Clemson, get out of the top 25. Texas, go down to like 17 or something. And then the loser of this one, probably going to drop out of the top 25 as well. No, I'll drop out of the top 12. 1 second. I'm still here. All right. 5:32 to go. It's just my voice. I'm a voice actor now. All my bones. All right, here we are. We're 3 hours in. 3.5 hours in. A long game. A lot of stoppages. This is returnable for Miami, and they will. And it's just cut right up the middle. He's still on his feet. He'll go to about the 32-yard line. A nice return for Miami. It'll be 1st and 10. Carson Beck has had himself a fairly nice day. Mostly because of Malachi Toney. He just stands in. He's very patient. He's got great pocket presence. He's just dishing over to Malachi Toney. And then same route underneath. It's just a consistent way to get yards. 3rd and 10. Guess what? He's going to roll left. Malachi Toney, he's going to be open over there. So it's just the patience in the pocket. Again, we've seen it time and time again. And the connection with him and Malachi Toney has been surprisingly strong, considering I don't know who Malachi Toney is before this one. But I'm telling you, I'm not forgetting his name after this one. Same for C.J. Daniels Jr. Miami basically needs a field goal, and this game's over. They're just going to hand the ball off. If this turns into a Georgia Tech situation, I'm going to be mad. Not that I'm being partial. That was just bad football, okay? It was bad football to watch against Georgia Tech all those years ago. I don't want to repeat. It's bad. All right. Come on, Mario. You got this, man. All right. Now that I'm rooting for them. 2nd and 8. For Miami, they're going to throw the ball here. Beck looks to throw. Blitz coming. Running back picks it up. He'll throw over the middle, and that was a tough throw. Hey, whoa. A lot of extracurricular there. They're not going to call a flag. Of course not. Man, these refs are... I'm not a fan. It's just another bad missed call there. That was a lot of extracurricular. That was an unnecessary shove at the end. 3rd and 8, 4:50 to play. This is a must-acquire first down for Miami. This would be the time when I would stand up, but the camera doesn't go there anymore. 3rd and 8, 4:50 to go. Number 10, Miami, trying to unseat number 6, Notre Dame. Blitz coming. Pressure. He throws it up in the air. Oh, my goodness. That was almost incredible. Incomplete pass. That was almost phenomenal. And Notre Dame gets off the field in less than a minute. Oh, Mario. and Miami are about to be stunned by a comeback. This could be incredible. Just wow. I mean, look at this. I mean, just sheer pressure. I can't believe he got the pass off. What a throw, by the way. Like, honestly, that was a good throw. I'm not even going to pretend that wasn't an incredibly tough throw to make, and he almost got it. He placed it pretty much only where his receiver could get it. It's just good defense. Just really phenomenal pass rush. So the punt is off and away. It's going to be fair caught at the 26 of Notre Dame. We got a game. It's 24-17. CJ Carr. First game. First team. First comeback. I mean, it's going to be interesting. This is definitely going to be a fun finish no matter what. CJ Carr, he's got 2 touchdowns tonight. He's done it both improvising. He's thrown 10 incompletions. He's had a solid game. He's been really good. Yeah, I'll give him that. Notre Dame looks good. I like the promise of CJ Carr more than anything because this guy's a freshman. The fact that he's only a freshman means that as a senior, he's going to be electric. Carr, he looks over the middle. He's going to pump fake once. He's under pressure. He'll throw deep. He's wide open. He's gone. The 20's chased down at the 10. Oh, my goodness. What an error. What was he doing all the way back there? Oh, my goodness. Notre Dame's in the game. They're about to make a great comeback. Are you kidding? What happened to the Miami defender? Oh, he just toasted him. Wow, that is just incompetence. First and goal, that was Eli Raridon, who's had himself a nice day. CJ Carr, under pressure, he steps up in the pocket. He'll take it and run, and he gets popped at the end there. He's taking a couple of big hits today. That's something he's going to have to talk with Coach Freeman about being able to slide freely there. You don't want your quarterback taking that kind of hits, but what a comeback by Notre Dame. They're about to tie this one up. I will say, too much time. It's a little late of a hit. Second and goal. These refs, awful. Second and goal here. Freeman watching from the 7-yard line. Second and goal. Hurricanes defense does not need another collapse. It's a draw. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Irish. We got a tie game pending an extra point. What a comeback. CJ Carr. Welcome to college football. Wow. And Miami really defensively should be embarrassed by the fact that they've allowed this comeback. But what a job by CJ Carr getting himself back in this game. That is character. He threw he had a low moment when he threw that interception and he picked himself right back on the ground. That is an admirable, admirable comeback for CJ Carr and Notre Dame. And here's the extra point to knot this one up at 24. Kicks up. It is right down the middle. It's a tie game. It hasn't been a tie game since about like 30 seconds left in the second quarter. And just wow. CJ Carr, just what a game that he's had. And I can't even say that he hasn't. I mean, it's been a great debut for him. And this one's coming down to the wire. I will say they gave him way too much time. 3 minutes and 21 seconds. It's too much time. That's tough. That's really, really tough for them. Because Miami's a good offense. They've shown they got the 2-minute drill down earlier going into the half. You gave them a bit too much time that they can now drown out that clock. But it's going to be tight. We'll see. Man, this lady is happy. All right, anyway. Just wow. CJ Carr has got the hype of the sideline on him now. I would be too. I mean, that's just incredible job getting back on his feet there. Great comeback for Notre Dame. This is just an entertaining game. 24 apiece, 3:21 to play. Suddenly, Miami is the one in trouble. Wow. And Cristobal is trying to get his team back huddled up. He's saying, come on, guys, we cannot lose this. And I think it's true that I don't think they can lose this. I think Miami loses more credibility than Notre Dame does if they lose this game. Just bold. Miami doesn't make the playoffs. First of all, like the committee hates Miami. Like they should have made it last year. It would have been so much more entertaining, but they hate Miami. Lose any more than games than they're supposed to. Pass yards, Notre Dame now has 209 after that big throw from C.J. Carr. Wow. He's actually outplayed Carson Beck just in this quarter. That's a quick little slant underneath to the number 7. And let me tell you, that's the tick-tock clock. That's just a quick pass. It's a really nice play. And you're also wasting time down on the clock for Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame's going to get this ball back. I think defensively they have to come up with a stand here. 2nd and 1. Handoff over the middle. That's exactly what they're doing. There's no way they hand off if they're going true 2-minute. They're trying to win this on a game-winning field goal. No question about it. They're not giving Notre Dame the ball back. 1st and 10. It seemed like Miami's game a quarter ago, and Notre Dame has totally turned it around on them. Incredible. All right, 2:31 to play. 1st and 10 for Beck. Beck drops back to pass. He launches deep. He's pass interference of the highest order of pass interference. Oh, man. That was such a mistake. That's 15 yards going Miami's door. They're clapping. Why are they clapping? What? They just call OPI. No. I was going to say, like, what on earth? Why are they clapping? That's crazy. I mean, he tackled him. Like, that would have been a touchdown. So I don't blame him because that was a touchdown. But that's pass interference. The refs, they couldn't even ignore that one. He basically tackled him. 1st and 10. 2:21 to play. Miami, they're 15 yards farther down the field after that one. It's one that Notre Dame's not going to forget. That's going to be painful. They're at midfield now. They only need about 20 yards. Miami has been more heavily penalized, I will say that, significantly. There's a time there, like 3rd quarter, like, wow, they were just getting hit with everything. And it's going to be a play action. Beck, he's got a little happy feet. He lays this one in. It's incomplete. Dangerous throw. I didn't like that. Good defense, though, by Notre Dame. Really good defense. Yeah, that was clean, man. It's really good job just jumping the route, getting your hand up there, swatting the ball down. That could have been intercepted. That's just so dangerous of a play, honestly. All right, let's see. It's a handoff again. A nice run. It's Marty Brown. Brown pushing forward. He's got a solid gain there of 7 or 8. I'm telling you, this running game has been solid for Miami. It has been solid. Stress eating. 3rd and 2. I believe Miami just... No, this is a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning, y'all. We got 2 minutes. It's all come down to this. We got a tie game. Miami 24. Notre Dame 24. Will it be the Catholics or the convicts? Who is coming out on top? It's all happening. 2 minutes left in the game. Wow. Absolutely. Just a great game, first of all. Just a great game. They turned out so much better than I was expecting, actually. Because, like, first half was a little slow. It was very defensive, but you need a little bit of that. But second half is just taking off. That's just such an incredible comeback by Notre Dame. And as well, makes it so interesting. Games back in just a few moments. 2-minute warning. At the 2-minute warning now, in just a few moments, we'll be back in Miami Gardens for the final 2 minutes, which will decide it all between the Hurricanes and the Irish. It's tight. It's gonna be tight. I think Miami's gonna pull away. I think it's gonna be a really good game. So far, I was correct about that part. Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm doing. I'm like, ooh. If Notre Dame manages to stop them here before they get to the field goal marker, Miami's got to go for it, right? They have to. Or they just trust their defense and it's overtime? I don't know. That's an interesting predicament. Like, what if they get stopped here? What do you do? I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, like, what would any of you do if any of you are watching? Would you go for it on fourth down if Miami gets stopped here on 3rd and 3 without their because they're not at the field goal line? Or would you just punt it, try and pin them deep in the case of putting them back and heading to overtime? I'm not sure what I would do. Would I pin them back or I might go for it. But I'm bold. I'm a brave coach. I'm not super conservative. So I don't know whether I would go for it or not. All right. I cannot believe this game has not come back yet. There's been like so many commercials. Just like, it's crazy. It's wild that this hasn't come back yet. Oh, wait, here we go. We're back. CJ Carr. This kid's been amazing. He's had such a good game. Carson Beck. I mean, he's been good too. Like, honestly, these two quarterbacks have had a duel. It hasn't seemed like all that much, but to me, this is like an NFL atmosphere. Like Hard Rock Stadium, it's an NFL stadium, but they got it filled full of fans of both sides. And both teams are playing with the competitive edge of a national team. 2 minutes to go, 3rd and 2. It's a big moment for Notre Dame. They'll run the ball. Does he get there? I don't think he did. The extra push, the second push, did he get there? First down, Miami. And CJ Carr can only look on now. That was just a close call. Good run by Marty Brown. This kid's been close. I mean, look at that offensive line push, though. Come on, Francis Mauagoa in there. These big guys, incredible. That's him, Francis. This guy's he was the one on the push there. So they're about 2 yards away from field goal range. They're just running the clock out, and they are in field goal range thanks to Marty Brown. 1:18, Notre Dame is going to start calling their timeouts. There's their first. Wow. This could be a crazy ending here. Wow. All right, 2nd down. 1:19 to play. Notre Dame's got 2 timeouts left. Miami has 2 timeouts left. Oh, this is just anxiety inducing. This is what we live for. This is incredible. Carter Davis, he's 0 for 1 in game tying or go ahead field goals in 4th quarter or overtime. That's encouraging. I miss Andy Borgas. I'm glad he's in the NFL, though. Good for him. He's in New England, but whatever. Good for him. And that's another handoff. And he's somehow going to get back to the line of scrimmage, not losing yards. 3rd and 4. Notre Dame's going to call their second timeout. Bum, 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 bum. Doesn't sound like any song. 6th Notre Dame against 10 Miami. This is a top 12 matchup, and you can tell. Like, this Notre Dame defense has been incredible. And in the 3rd quarter, Miami was up 21-7. And CJ Carr delivered a dime in traffic, made it 21-14. This is a crucial interception, made it 24-14, and then a field goal and a CJ Carr rush later. It's tied up 24-24. What a comeback it's been for them. Miami fumbled snap on first quarter, field goal attempt, 2 turnovers, Miami 3 points off turnovers. Yeah. Notre Dame outscored Miami 17-3 in the fourth quarter. Yep. Those are the stats. That first one's concerning. They fumbled the snap on the first quarter field goal. So Miami, you're throwing the ball here. I would. I'm throwing the ball. Maybe not a big one, but something tried and true. He ran the ball. Okay. All right. 4th down. No matter what, Notre Dame has some time. Final timeout, Notre Dame. Man, CJ Carr is going to have a minute. Oh, Mario. This is Georgia Tech all over again. Oh, this is crazy. And he's practicing his holding. What a game. This is my first college commentary. What a game it's been. Fourth and 3. 1:08 to play. 1 field goal with the chance to take the lead and potentially to win the game, depending on the defense. They're just barely in field goal range. It's a 47-yard attempt. Oh, all right. I can't look at this. This is crazy. 47-yard attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. He got it. 27-24 Miami. And the Hurricanes take the lead with a minute to play. Michael Irvin's pumped up on the sideline. This was a tough game for both sides. Whoever, if Notre Dame wins, you know what? They earned it. Same for Miami. This is an earned victory one way or another. This is just an incredible game. Wow. All right, come on. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm being less impartial now. It's a game-winning field goal, hopefully. All right, it's all about the defense now. Can the Hurricanes defense keep CJ Carr away from the field goal marker? Starts with a good return here. Might as well. I think I would just go for a touchback. Just don't risk it. That's what I would do. I'll just touchback. I'm going through it right now. All the emotions. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. I keep forgetting that I'm live, though. The thing is, because this is just like a really good football game, and I just want to watch it. It happens. And the kick is off. And it is a touchback. Smart. I agree with your decision. I'm in it 4. Notre Dame has the ball. 1st and 10. Miami's got 2 timeouts. Notre Dame's got none. It's about to be wild. Ooh. It's too tired to be this wild. And everyone's on their feet at Hard Rock Stadium. It's crazy. They're at the 25-yard line. They have a minute and 4 seconds. Can this Canes defense hold up under Corey Heatherman? Oh my goodness. Oh man. That was almost intercepted. That would have ended this game way early. Oh man, that was a dangerous throw. He put way too much zip on that, and they're so lucky that the Miami defenders closed in on the receiver as fast as they did. Otherwise, this game might be over. 27-24, 59 seconds to play. Carr looks to throw under pressure. He dumps it off to the tight end. The tight end still moving, still rolling. He's down at the 37-yard line. First down, Notre Dame. 1st and 10 from the 51. Down by 3. CJ Carr trying to rally the troops. Corey Heatherman on the other side. Miami showing blitz. They back off. Rush 3. Pressure gets to him. The ball's on the floor. That's a fumble. Incomplete. Are you serious? You're saying that was a throw? That's crazy. Ruben Bain just absolutely crushed that. That should have been a sack or a fumble. I don't know what to tell you there. How on earth is that a throw? All right. I mean, it was a forward pass. I don't argue too much about it. Just, get on, move on with the next play. I mean, what a blitz, though. What a fake blitz. Like the disguise. A big flag. Incredible. They just called intentional grounding on CJ Carr. I'm a little more partial now. Like, absolutely. There was something. Because that's not legal. You can't do that. That shit, it was either a fumble or intentional grounding, and I was going to be stunned if they didn't call either. I would have just gone crazy. 26 seconds. They lost the time. They lost the down. This is insane. Miami's defense might have just come out so clutch. They're going Hail Mary. 20 seconds. Carr steps up. He's brought down. Ruben Bain. They have to get back to the line. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They got it off. They need a touchdown. They didn't get it off. It's over. The Hurricanes win in epic fashion. It's all about the U, baby. Come on. What a game. Incredible. Wow. That was just a fantastic game. What an epic victory. First win versus a top 10 opponent since 2017. I did not know that. Snaps 8-game losing streak. Wow. Wow. I didn't realize Manny Diaz was around in 2017. Wow. Incredible. What a win. What a win. That's huge. That's such a massive win for the Canes. Like, you can't even believe it. Sorry, I'm celebrating. I'm not there, but I'm still celebrating. Incredible. Just an incredible win. That's exactly the way Miami needed to start the season. No offense to Notre Dame. Like, Notre Dame, they'll be fine. Like, I'm not even worried about it. They'll be perfectly fine when it's all said and done. If they don't lose another game, they're in the playoffs. If they don't lose 2 more games, they're in the playoffs. Notre Dame's one of the most beloved teams by college football, by the committee. They love Notre Dame. They're going to include them if they finish with more than one win. I mean, that's just who the committee is. They love Notre Dame. Miami, they have not been so kind to. So this is huge for Miami. This is such a big moment for the Hurricanes. It is my honor and pleasure to be able to spend that commentating here with you guys. This is it. Yeah, I'm done. What a full game. What an incredible game it was. Thank you so much for watching this incredible commentary, first ever commentary of college football. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, it's been great. God bless, and it's all about the U, baby. It's all about the U. All right, see you next time. There's going to be a poll coming out later this week that's going to ask about what you want to see on content for this upcoming week. We're going to make a schedule. It's going to be awesome. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace out. Bye.